Fellas.
What up? What up? What up?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, let's have a
Same old,
conversation
different
Sunday.
day.
You better know it. Let's have a conversation. Sundays is here.
Yeah.
Brought to you by King of My Way. Man, I've been excited for this topic. Uh, been ready, waiting on this for a while. Um, we had touched up on it maybe early in the year, but we didn't really get a deep dive into it. So today we're really gonna do a deep dive in it. So what you got, bro? What you got, man?
All right.
Cause
So pretty much, we're gonna speak from the guy's perspective because in the relationship, we can only speak from the guy's perspective on how we view things. But us as men, we get held accountable for a lot of things. So we want to know: are you women taking accountability for the things that happen within the relationship and even in the breakups? Because when I talk to 90% of women, listening to them explain their side of the story, it's always the guy's fault. The guy's toxic, or he was crazy, or he wouldn't do right. So we want to know, women, are you taking accountability for your actions? Do you ever stop and think and say to yourself, maybe that guy did that because you did something you weren't supposed to, or you know, did, do you ever think that you may have done anything to cause him to do that?
mm,
So I want to know, or we want to know, do women take accountability for their actions?
so
Like,
in
But
order
you gotta
for
go ahead.
in order for that, I need a female on the live. I need a female. Uh, share a couple. I need somebody to request join the live because I need a female's perspective. This is a question geared towards the female. So let's see here. Hmm.
us men's want to know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We want to know. And anything you wanted to add, Jermaine?
Well, you always know there's always three sides to a story. Even Usher knew that. It's always three sides. It's her side, his side, and then it's the truth.
Absolutely.
But quite naturally, nobody is really gonna tell the whole complete entire story. You only gonna get bits and pieces where this one did this and this one did that. It's all be that. You'll never get the full story. You'll just hear how he did this and he did that on his side of it. Well, she was doing this and she was doing that. But in most cases, like Darren said, in most cases, it's always the dude's fault. He won't doing enough of this, he won't doing enough of that. But we already know that, you know, females do that part of shit too. It ain't always the guy.
Absolutely.
But you'll never, because when she tell that story, she's going for that emotional part. So you not gonna hear the whole story, because when you hear it from her, it's gonna be how he won't doing this every time he turn around. He was the screw up, but you never hear where she screwed up at. Only real women gonna really speak up and say, well, I did do this. Well, maybe I mean, I did my part, and you'll hear bits and pieces, but for the most part, it's gonna be completely his fault. Because
Right.
I hear many a time, because you think about it, you'll hear a guy say, "Man, I had a good woman and I screwed it up."
Yeah.
But very seldom do you ever hear a female say, "Well, I had a good man and I screwed it up."
Well, I ain't gonna say that because I've heard women say that a couple of times. Actually, in
Oh,
reference to
oh, oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
in reference to me.
Are we talking about the minority or the majority here? I just want to know. Because the majority, I did state that 90% of the women that I've spoken to, a lot of women, but it always comes from their side that the guy is toxic. The guy messed up. So
Okay.
I want to be clear and address the majority. I'm
Okay.
not saying, you got some women that are what they consider exceptions, but the majority are saying, hey, it was the guy's fault. I didn't do anything wrong in this relationship. I tried to be there for him and do this and do that, but they don't want to tell any of the little small, minute things. So we're addressing the majority. There's something wrong with this picture because ain't no way in the world that 90% of the women ain't doing nothing.
Okay.
You think about the guys that get played and get used.
Woo. Boy, I know how that feels.
Exactly. So who was at fault doing that situation?
Hey, Miss Nisha, how you doing?
I'm great.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fellas,
I'm great. Just came off vacation.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. So it's fine.
Me too.
Hey, I want a vacation. Where the vacation at?
Where we
Wherever
going?
I had to go.
Oh, shoot.
Wherever.
I can go
About
on
it.
vacation anytime. I can, I can take my laptop. It's whatever.
Same here. It's fine. We
Like,
plug
You
in
don't even
well.
need that, bro.
Yeah, let's talk about this accountability thing. Let's talk
Ooh!
about it.
Ooh, let's get into it.
Let's talk.
Yes.
Shed some light,
Let's
sister.
talk
Shed some light.
about it.
All right. So what we talking about though? Because accountability goes so many ways. So
Oh, well, we
when
want
we
you
talk
to elaborate on that. Tell us what ways it go and speak on it.
well, see, no, y'all brought the topic up, so I need y'all to tell me what lane to go down.
Well, I'm saying
Well, we going
most
down
women
everything.
and yeah. So most women in most cases, if a relationship ends or it's on the way to failing, most women are like, he's not doing this and he's not doing that. And it's pretty much like they're not doing anything. So what's
Okay.
going
So
on? Do y'all not feel like
from
you do anything wrong or everything you do is right? What's going on with that?
from a woman's perspective, that is not what we're thinking. Okay.
Okay.
So when we say that the man isn't doing this, the man isn't doing that, we're just voicing how we truly feel. A lot of times in situations and in relationships with a man, we voice how we feel so often that it becomes so familiar with the man that they naturally do not address the issue. They will look over the issue. They will take a few minutes. They'll tweak it a little bit and then give it a couple of weeks, couple of months, and we're back to seeing the same familiar behavior.
Pacified.
So what corrected?
That's pacified.
No. That's not pacifying. That's giving you opportunity to correct where you're driving that woman in a lane where she doesn't really want to be. Because if we start doing the same thing, if we start doing the same thing and we ignore how the man feels so often, a lot of times that leads that man down another road. They'll start doing other things to where they're not home often or they're not there for you often or whatever the case may be. Men take a different avenue from women. Now, everybody, I ain't gonna say men cheat, women cheat. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. But a woman is only going to address a matter so many times. It's not saying she's innocent. She's going to talk to her friends how she talks to her friends, and you're going to talk to your friends how you talk to your friends. But that's not saying nobody's innocent. That's just saying, this is what we're talking about. This is how I feel when it comes to him. But I'm pretty sure now, in most cases, such as myself, when it comes to me talking to my friends, I'm going to give the whole avenue. I'm going to tell my faults as well as I'm going to attack his faults and where it fell short and where I felt like it fell short, even though he might have thought that he was doing everything correct and everything was good. But somewhere in there, I just wasn't satisfied.
Okay. So a lot of times I see in some situations where, you know, when you are talking to the friends, it's like the friends become the they become the breaking point to the relationship. Meaning, you know, their friends are encouraging a type of behavior which may seem not right to the man in the relationship, but the girl will the friend will make it feel like it's fine. So to say, as in a situation where the girl's like, well, you know, don't worry about it, girl. You're doing everything right, and you can do better. Instead of saying, nah, girl, what you did was wrong, maybe you should apologize and even talk to him. So a lot of, especially like women that have men that have single friends, their friends are single, they typically go down that route with that female, telling her that, you know, you can do better than that. You know what I mean? You did nothing wrong. What's up with that? Because there are a lot of women that do that, especially with their friends.
Okay. There are a lot of men who do that. It goes both ways. In a woman's set of friends, there's always one or two friends that's going to be that way because they don't understand the maturity of relationships. They don't understand accountability. They don't understand any of that. They don't understand accountability in a friendship. So how can they respect it in a relationship? They don't want you to tell them about themselves, so they definitely not going to tell you about yourself. And it's always that one or two people that's in a circle that's going to be like, man, forget that girl. Man, forget that boy. Like, you deserve better. You deserve it. It goes both ways.
It do,
but is it up to the person to be like, so for instance, if it was me, it's up to me to tell that friend, like, look, I don't need you to pacify me through this situation. I need you to tell me truth. Is that our responsibility as individuals to tell them, like, look, I can't keep allowing you to be like, they're horrible, just move on? Because is that disrespecting you as a friend?
Right.
Because they're not giving you truth.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You good, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I see it more with women though than guys. Guys are mostly told, man, you be all right. You know what I mean? Stick around, everything will work out. Majority, and majority, and most of the time, you see it in women that's doing that. Listen,
they be like, man, you gonna be all right. And then next thing you know, y'all out somewhere, yo, shorty, this, and this, yo, shorty over there, this, and that.
Nine times out of 10,
but listen, we don't go anywhere though. Yeah, y'all had a tendency to pack up and leave.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hold on. 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, a male is not gonna tell his friend, yo, man, you need to go ahead and leave that girl alone, man.
Exactly. He's not gonna do that.
And now 9 times out of 10,
y'all said men, right?
Yeah, men.
It's a lot of boys playing out here. Okay.
Oh. We ain't talking about the boys. We ain't talking about the boys. We talking
about the men.
Majority. What you say, Taz? The majority?
Yeah, the majority.
Boys. Capital B, capital O, capital Y. Boys. Men are rare.
No. Jermaine, chime in on this, brother.
Jermaine, you have been silent long enough.
No, I'm sitting here processing this because, see, that's one of the reasons why they say single people should hang with single people and people in relationships should hang with people in relationships. Because what ends up happening is a lot of those single friends, they'll give you some badass advice. And then a lot of times people will live their life through the eyes of somebody else. And that ain't good. Because what you going through ain't going to be the same thing that somebody else went through. They may be similar, but they won't be the same. And the advice, and you can't be really sure on the advice you give because the some fact is, I can give you some advice. It's up to you to take it.
Hello?
And I can say from my own experience, and I'm older than all three of y'all, from the stuff that I've been through and the things that I've seen. And I can tell you right out the gate, in most cases, the guy will stay there. The only way he gonna switch out and leave is the same reason that a woman would switch out and leave, because she thinks she got something better. She thinks she got something better. And she'll switch, and that's the only reason why she'll leave that relationship. because she felt like she got something better over here. Well, the guy gonna do the same thing. If he think he can do better over here, oh, he gonna dip. Best believe he gonna dip. Everything also depends on what he got invested in that female. If he got something invested, if he's deeply invested in her, oh no, he ain't gonna leave. He'll stay there, but he'll do other things in order to, how can I say, become whole, to be whole. Just like women, y'all would do the same thing. You can have a man at home that's handling his business, but if you ain't satisfied with how he handling his business, you might dip out.
Hello?
You might dip out, keep it on low. That's the reason why they say y'all better at cheating than we are. That's the whole reason why they say that, because you know, one, where that man is, how long he gonna be gone, and remember, y'all think we simple, and we are simple. We are simple. So you already know what time he go to work, what time he get off, and then what time he gonna call, when he gonna text, who his friends is. You know all of that shit beforehand.
Yeah.
Y'all had a blueprint. They had a blueprint early.
We've already see we become what we call so normal to a point, you know everything. So that's how y'all can pull off that. That's the reason why that, to me, when they say a woman can cheat better than a man, I call that shit a myth. The only reason why I call it a myth, because I'm smart enough to pay attention to little quirks, little changes and shit. That's the reason why I never tell you everything, because you use that in order to pull off your stunts. I never tell you. I ain't gonna tell you that I'm getting off work early. I let you find out when I show up.
Hello?
That's the reason why I do that. Because like I said, I learn from females. And if guys would pay more attention, oh yeah, they'll learn from them. They'll learn from them just by paying attention. That's how I catch little shit.
You poor
like,
dead.
wait a minute.
Because they don't. They don't.
Oh, but see, that all depends. But see, that all depends on the guy that you're dealing with. It all depends on the guy that you're dealing with.
That's
And
not
you're
our
right.
fault.
But you are right. There are a lot of guys, I ain't gonna call them little boys, because technically they still men. They have what you call a adolescent mind state. They still think like, in high school. But you got a lot of women that do the same shit. You see what I'm saying? You got a lot of women that do the same shit.
Yeah.
So you really can't sit there and just throw all that shade over here to the men, because a lot of us, the only things that we doing, the shit that we do it to attract y'all.
The sign language.
That's the only reason why we do have the dumb shit that we do.
Yeah.
You don't like the nice guy. You like the bad boy. Yes, y'all like the bad boy. And who is the bad boy? The bad boy is that alpha male. Y'all like that shit. And that's what you're attracted to, because it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you on your toes, and you like that adventure. But inside that adventure, there's a lot of motherfucking consequences with that shit that y'all fail to see, because you're thinking in the moment. You ain't thinking long term, you thinking in the moment. And then you get caught up with this damn alpha male. That dude don't really give a damn how you thinking.
No.
He just in it for himself at the moment. And then your feelings get involved. You get hurt. He move on to the next chick. That's what an alpha does. He moves on. He's all about himself. He's really all about himself. What you want, or better yet, what you need, is a beta male. Beta males are, they like their emotions. So they'll think about your emotions.
But
y'all don't want him
hanging around beta males so much. I see a lot of women like to hang around with beta males a lot. No shade to beta males.
Ain't no shade to them. It's just, that's just that's a personality. But they look at beta males like it's a bad thing. And it's not a bad thing to think about other people's emotions and shit like that. But they try to associate beta males as being soft or weak. Mm-hmm. But there's a time to allow it, and then there's a time to pull that shit back. And those guys have ascended. You know what I'm saying? A guy can be a beta male, but he can ascend to something else. He don't have to stay in that state. He can move to something else. See, I was raised by women, nothing but women. But I have my male side too, that I understand things. I had to go through a whole lot of bullshit, being treated like shit, getting used, getting played. It's real easy for me to move over to this lane right here and just say women ain't shit. It's real easy to do that.
Hey,
It's real simple. But see, if I do that, that would be a coward on my end because all females ain't like that. Ain't
Fact.
like the females the way I got treated. So I
Fact.
can't do that. I'm not gonna treat every female the way that I got treated. And I'm gonna be clear. Most of the females all the females that done that shit to me were black. They played me, they used me, but I didn't put all females into that category. It just made me a little bit more smarter, and I paid more attention. But I also had to accept accountability for the parts that I played in it, because maybe I played a part in that where I gave too much
And you
when I
allowed
should have
it.
kept some in reserve.
Yeah.
And you allowed it to happen.
Exactly. And when I say pacify, when you say he tweaked things, all he did was pretty much was pacify. That's all he did. He pacified. When I say he pacified, he did what he needed to do to shut you up. And then he just backslid right back into the same old routine.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just backslid into the same routine.
Absolutely.
That's what people, that's a human trait. Everybody does that. And until you make it up in your mind, this is what I need to do, and this is what I'm gonna do, then they're gonna do it. But in most cases, no, most everybody gonna pacify, because believe me, when I come home, I want to come home to peace. I ain't coming home to hear no arguing. I ain't coming home to hear yang. I'm gonna tune you out. I'm gonna tune your ass out, because I don't feel like, first of all, ask me how my day went. Because I just carried the world on my damn back. I ain't coming here to fucking argue and fuss. It ain't that I'm not paying attention to you. Just like y'all say, it's the small things, but it's also the big things that matter too. Because if I neglect the big things, there's something else you're gonna be fussing at me about. Because I didn't do this. Well, why didn't you pay the rent? You said you were gonna pay the rent. I forgot it. But your hair do look nice though. I like the way you did your nails. That's little things. But it's all of that in combination. Understand why maybe I didn't do this or why I didn't do that.
Man, that boy.
It's about communication. Let's talk about it. You know,
Hey, look.
let's talk about it. And
Tabernacle.
we can clear the air.
Slow down, bro.
Go
Slow
ahead.
down, bro. Hold on.
Hold on, Jermaine. Hold on, Jermaine.
Hold on.
You spitting
So
too
look.
much hot fire. You spitting too much hot fire, man. Slow it down a little bit. Slow
So
it
look,
down.
Let's really get into it, man, because accountability, right? And the reason why I was posing those questions to you is because if we look at, let's say the marriages, 70 to 80% of marriages end due to women. Where's the accountability? Where's the ratio? What 70 to 80% of marriages are ending due to women? How do you feel about that? What's your take on that? What's going on with that?
Well, we can't really speak on due to women because we don't know why they left
But
or why. And
we can.
marriages end for so many reasons.
We can,
Number one,
but we got to get into that. But
the number
70 to
one
80%
reason is due to the lack of communication.
Okay.
That's number one in the 70 and 80%. A lot of women like to talk, and we will talk until we see a resolution. A lot of men don't want to talk for resolution. They don't want to listen to get understanding. They want to listen to shut it up and shut it down. That's a lot of them. And that's a lot of them I've encountered just as far as like friends, my own husband, strangers, everything. A lot of men don't understand the importance of communication being a factor and a number one key thing in women. Us women, we really love to talk. And when we shut down, it's because we've been ignored for so long. That one thing that's bottling us up and eating us away has been shut down too often. Although we say you might have an argument today or a conversation today, and it gets oftentimes in communication, it's always something that causes a distraction. You'll be in the middle of a conversation and something will randomly come up. You'll get distracted. something happens in the house, phone ring, work, anything. There's always a distraction when there is a conversation that is needed to be had. So the conversation usually does not get resolved. It's usually swept under the rug. That's a number one key factor in marriages failing. Communication.
Mm-hmm.
It's not accountability. It's communication.
So you're saying, so from what I just heard you say is, the majority of marriages ended because guys don't want to communicate with women.
No. What I said was the number one reason marriages end is in communication. Things go unresolved.
And then you said guys.
A lot of men don't listen to get understanding in that situation. So it's usually swept under the rug. And a lot of women, in order to save the relationship or try to save the relationship, they will sweep it under the rug. So in that instant, now it is everybody's problem. It is both parties that are involved. Divorces are not just one party. In a divorce, if you are getting divorced or you are divorced, both parties failed.
Okay. All right.
Both parties failed to marry.
All right. Hold on with that. Well, most marriages, like he was saying before, most marriages end because a woman filed for divorce.
For divorce.
Most of the time, a man is not gonna go file for divorce from a marriage. A man is gonna stick through it regardless because you know what I'm saying. That's how he does it. Most females, when they're done with something, they're ready to be done, and they're gonna file that for the divorce.
Right, because who wants to stick around when something's not being resolved? That's toxic. That is draining.
Absolutely.
This is why we have a lot of women who go through depression, anxiety, suicide. A lot of them go through so much within their bodies from sticking in a situation. Just because a man doesn't want to let go has nothing to do with a woman releasing.
Whoa.
I will love you enough to let you go.
Sounds like somebody use.
Less. But if you're not healing for me, or we can't get no healing for us, there's no need to stick and stay. If we've tried this over and over again, there's no need in continuing to be in a toxic marriage for 20 years and we ain't been happy 10. That don't make sense.
See, that's what I'm hearing from your conversation. Your conversation sounds like it is the man's fault. It's both
parties.
Hold on. It went from both parties to communicate, and I agree. Both parties need to communicate.
When marriages fail, both parties fail. Both parties fail. Because at the end, you don't know if it could have been resolved because you filed for the divorce. You offer, let's say for instance, you offered counseling. One party didn't want to do counseling. All right, so now we can mark that off. So now we back to square one. All right, what do? We try to sit down and we resolve it together. It never gets resolved because one subject might be too sensitive for the other party to handle. So now we at another level. We at a whole nother level.
All right.
Now we bring in an outsider to try to help resolve it. What is the outsider going to resolve that we couldn't resolve together if we done said I do together? Why can't we resolve it amongst ourselves? Do we continue the cycle? No.
Okay.
Just because that man want to stay, listen, if I'm in a toxic relationship and that man don't want to listen, we can't communicate, we can't resolve nothing together, we're not going to keep doing it. I don't care. You can call and say whatever you want to say about a woman choosing to walk out of her marriage because it just won't right. I don't care. Women walk out of marriages because of abuse. They walk out because of communication. They walk out for cheating, whether it was them cheating or the man cheating, whatever the case may be. So I ain't going to knock her for choosing to walk away.
The question is, what led to those things? You'll never know
the truth. You'll never know the truth. Because the man ain't going to tell 100%, and neither is that woman, because both of them think about their own character.
They not. But it's odd that
they never tell
that percentage, that high of women are leaving men. Let me ask you a question. Our grandparents got it right. What was the difference between...
Did they? Wait a minute. Did they? Or is it generational curses that was swept under the rug? Because I guarantee you it's a lot about your grandparents that you don't know.
And that's true. But you know what? You didn't find that out till they hit the dirt.
No, no,
They
no.
had, I no,
Some of
I
us
listen.
found out as
Our
adults.
grandparents had 10, 15 kids, right? And
Mhm.
despite if granddaddy was over there messing with Thelma next door, didn't nobody know that
Just
shit
because
and
they
did
were
shit with
toxic,
the dirt.
just
But
because they were toxic back in 1945, don't mean I'm
no,
gonna be toxic in
no,
2021.
sign language. Insults guilt need to be right. No, the
Mm.
thing was they knew that they had a role to play. Grandma knew that she had a role, and Papa knew that she had a role.
Listen,
It
it's
wasn't
2020.
it wasn't no splitting up. So today, and we're talking about modern women. Let me clear it up. Modern women, from your conversation, you pretty much just said you pretty much blame the guy. If the guy don't communicate, or if it was abusive, it was this and that. You know how many women are verbally and physically abusive towards men, but they
Yeah,
don't go nowhere.
but is it our fault as women that the men
But
don't leave because
but
of that
what
abuse?
but what I'm saying is we're loyal. We stick it out. Why are y'all opting to just give up on your men and leave? And then on top of that, you give them the most prized possession you could give a man, which is a child. That don't make sense. You mean to tell me 10 years later you didn't know that this dude was like this? Or how y'all operate? You didn't know this? Up on you. Think about how selfish that is. He didn't give up on you and all your bullshit. He may think that some of the shit that you do is the most horrible shit in the world. But he's like, you know what? I love this woman. Fuck it. I'm gonna stay here. But y'all women, oh man, he do this, I can't do this. Then you go talk to the friend, which we were talking about earlier. Ty, you need to leave him. That's always better. That's always better. You know, stick around.
That's
No, I'm not gonna
Our
say it.
grandparents got it right.
Well, see,
yeah,
I'm not gonna say that the grandparents always got it right because I'm a firm believer in do what makes you happy.
And that
Because
right there,
That is the
that
problem.
right
because
there,
Go
that
ahead.
right there alone can be a problem because
it can be in
women,
certain situations. Well, what I was gonna say was do what makes you happy because I have been in situations myself where I was willing to stick and stay throughout the whole process. But it drained me mentally and physically and emotionally. That threw me off. Why do I sacrifice any person, man or woman? Why sacrifice your mental and your health to that capacity just to stay to prove a point? That makes no
so
sense. That
well,
makes no
that would be the
like
same as us guys.
even till this day, like even with grandparents, I know someone who was very dear to me who has about 12 kids. She had about 12 kids. And her husband cheated and had two kids outside of the marriage.
mm-hmm.
She stayed. But now today, she's dealing with the trauma and the emotional imbalance from back then. Because women, oftentimes, as women, we don't really deal with stuff that happened when we were younger. We don't deal with it then because we don't know the importance of dealing with it. So when depression and anxiety and all that stuff arises, now you have to tap back into where it came from. You have to tap back into your younger generation and you have to pull out that child in you and attack that child and heal from that inner child.
Okay. And I got something to add to that. You don't think black men go through that?
I'm not saying they don't. I can only speak from a woman's perspective.
That's
Y'all
Black
ask a
that's why
woman.
we were advocating therapy. Why don't give up on a man? Y'all go seek therapy.
Okay, and even sometimes in that therapy, because I've done therapy, sometimes in that therapy, you gain a whole lot within yourself that you're willing to release what has drained you if it cannot heal. If it cannot heal. Now, I'm a firm believer that if more men went to therapy, it would be a different conversation because some men don't want to attack their inner child because the pain that they felt when they were kids growing up as into young men and what they were shown, they don't want to face that.
Uh-huh.
So they don't do therapy. They go with the narrative of men just have to be strong and all this other stuff. But are we really being strong if we're not really healing from what damaged us as a kid? And it could later on surface up and nobody knows about it because it was never talked about.
Okay. I mean, I agree with that. If neither party wants to do therapy and you got to split up due to unreconcilable differences, then cool. But um, we did think it was just a little odd that statistics show that 70 to 80% of women divorce or they leave the marriage.
Yeah, but
And
it
so
don't
we
reason why.
and we wanted to know why. So what's better
It's
than a woman that you're married, right?
I am.
Okay. But it just seems like
Well,
go ahead, bro.
one reason why most men is not going to file for a divorce is because they on the losing end. They are on the losing end of it. That's the reason why they won't file for it. Why you think they came up with that song? It's cheaper to keep her.
Sometimes you got to lose to win, bro.
Not when you have. If she came into it and she didn't have nothing, and you worked yourself up and you built this and you did that, and then she gets to walk away with half.
And what if she came into it with everything and he had nothing, and she chooses?
Well, that's on her.
That's that minority
That's on her.
talking about.
That's very slim.
If we're gonna discuss statistics, we're gonna discuss them all, minority and majority.
But nothing is based off the minority. It's always based on the majority.
It's always on
the minority never rules anything. It's always based off the majority. That's the
problem. We don't think about the small group. We always thinking about the majority, and that's what clouds the visual. Because for real, we can't. How do we get to the majority? They were once a minority. So before we can become a majority, we have to start small. If we never attack the small, we will never understand what got to the majority.
It might be a little too late to attack the minority. The fact that the majority has gotten so big, it might be too late to have the time to focus on the majority now because it done got out of
now in today's time, it's easier for anybody, male or female. It is easier for people to just give up on stuff nowadays. Easier.
Because
don't know why.
But it's easier for women. It's easier for women to give up.
Yeah, they're willing to give up.
Everything is
I've seen men give up. I've seen women give up. I've seen men leave. I've seen women leave. Now, who files the divorce is something different. Sometimes men choose to walk away from a marriage and a woman is tired of being just walked away from, so she files for the divorce. There's no need to continue to allow a man to walk in and out of your life and hold their title as a husband. That's pointless. Just because it shows on paper that a woman filed for the divorce does not mean that that man didn't walk away. It just means that woman was bold enough to take her tail downtown, file that paperwork, and get rid of him. That's what we're not talking about. I hear y'all talking about statistics, but we don't know who walked away. We just know who filed the paperwork.
That's the flip side of it, but it does plainly say that women filed for the divorce.
Right. But who walked away? Does it tell you that?
No.
So let's not talk statistics. Next conversation.
They're gonna pull that's everything gonna be based off of paperwork. even when you get married, everything is gonna be based off of that.
But we still don't know who was the walking party. Was it the man or was it the woman? Just because I printed some papers, I ran an ad in the newspaper and I got a lawyer to get out of it, don't mean I walked away from it. It means I got tired. It could mean I got tired of being walked away from. And I was like, listen, ain't no needing him still holding me as no wife, and he's not physically here. He's not a husband.
No, you can't switch that. That's the same thing. That means he got tired of it.
If he got tired, but he didn't want to file the paperwork and just hold her as a wife. It's plenty of people out here that's been separated for 15 years and whatever. They dating other people, got kids with other people. Nobody went and filed the divorce. Why? We have to.
Like I said, it's because some is in a situation where they're gonna lose big time. Because I know, as a matter of fact, I know of 2 guys right now that's separated from theirs. And the only reason why they didn't file, the only reason why they filed, they don't want to file because they don't want their pensions took.
And that's fine. I understand there are some stipulations where you don't file. But even in those situations, that woman didn't go file for what she understood.
No, he didn't go file because of the situation, because he knew that she was going to take half his shit.
But if she goes file, whether he files or she files, it's took. If that's the case.
You might want to sit back and think about why, when I look at the whole situation, I have to still look at the fact is when y'all first got married, most marriages is always if you got to make it past the first 5 years.
Shoo, oof,
The first 5 years. In
oof.
the beginning, it's
No
the
lie.
whole honeymoon stage. After the 5th year, if you can get past that, you should be fine. Because, like I said, that's when it's going to tell the tale. That's when shit hits the fan. After
Mhm.
that 5th year. That's when everything hits the damn fan. All that, you know, a lot of those divorces happen and issues within the marriage happens is because y'all ain't in the dating stage no more.
Mm-mm.
Reality sets in.
Mhm.
And some find out that, oh man, he boring as hell. We don't do nothing we used to do no more because it's about life now.
Yeah.
It ain't about the whole honeymoon stage. And like I said, most marriages end up dying is because it's like y'all don't date no more. And
Right.
one of those things they tell you in therapy, is to go out, do this, do
Always.
that. They're gonna tell you that. But
Mhm.
that's the first thing they offer when you go to file for divorce. That's the first thing they tell you to do anyway. They tell you to go, change up your routine and this, that, and third. Some people just want out just to be out.
Mhm.
They just don't want it no more. I mean, and there'll be kids involved. And see, once you in a marriage, it ain't even about you and that person more. It's about the kids. And
Well,
the
if you
kids
go
need
into
both
something,
parents.
that goes back into what they were talking about last week. If you go into something with kids from the beginning, the kids have to be considered in all things. So
Yeah.
that's that. So if a kid comes along, now I am firm on this because I was raised by a mother who was single. She was a single mother. Now she did get married, but she was a single mother, and we came into the picture when she got remarried. We came into the picture. It was 3 of us. I'm a firm believer that even though you have kids to consider, don't continue to have your children in a toxic environment. That is unhealthy for the child.
That's another word I hate. I hate that word
It's
toxic because
reality.
everything is not toxic.
Everything isn't. But when the relationship is bad and there is no communication and you're at each other's throat and there's no resolution, that is teaching bad behavior. That is teaching stuff that kids will let them sit in their mental. They may not, for instance, me, myself, I've seen my mother go through abuse. I've seen all of that. All of that. And it didn't trigger me until I became an adult. Because it's not something that you talk about with your parents as a kid. You sit on it because you know sometimes the parent doesn't want to have that conversation or they're not willing to have that conversation because you are a child. And parents love to use a child needs to stay in a child's place. But when it becomes to where it's messing with that child's mental and you cannot identify that because you are a parent and you're dealing with so much in your own mental that your vision and everything is just blocked, that's a problem.
That's
And
why
you're
I should.
do not
That's why
let
it shouldn't be
out
done in
about
front of
that.
the child.
Exactly. But that's easier said than done. Because
It
it
is.
often happens in front of the children.
In most cases, it does happen, but it can be done. I've seen it with a couple. They, as bad as they want to go at each other's throats, they like, you know what? We'll talk about this later.
But it takes a strong-minded person to
It
hold it
does.
off
It does.
until later because of their children. A lot of people are not in that place.
It does.
They're not in that place. And I can come from a whole personal experience because I've been there. And the abuse of my mother did not trigger me until I became an adult. And then I had to, on top of handling the abuse I seen my mother go through, I also dealt with the abuse I went through as a kid, and it didn't trigger me until I was an adult. So oftentimes what's damaging to you does not really hit you until later in life. Trauma never hits you right away. Never. That's why majority of people go to counseling and they have to relive and rehash their childhood. Because now they're dealing with something that's deeper than now. It's going back 10, 15, 20 years. And now they're sitting on the couch talking about it. Mm-hmm. Trauma never hits you right away. Never. People will go to the military and they won't develop PTSD until they've been retired 10 years after they got out. Trauma is not something that triggers you right away. So, and that's what I'm saying. You just never know why people are choosing to walk away when they are. whether it's the man or the woman. I'm not going to tell nobody to stick in no relationship. Me as a friend, as a married woman, I'm not going to tell none of my friends to stay in no relationship that is damaging to their mental. I don't care what. Now, we can have the conversation. I will tell them when they're right and when they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But if I know for a fact that it's draining them, whether it's them draining themselves in that situation or it's the other party draining them, then this can go male or female. If it's draining you, there is no need to stay in it. Do what you got to do for yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you don't love yourself first, how can you love everybody else? You can't. You're going to keep pouring yourself into people and you're coming from a hurt place. How do you love people properly coming from a hurt and damaged place? How do you do that? How do you do it?
That is true. And if you like that, why even get into a relationship until you can figure yourself out?
Because a lot of times people think they have themselves figured out. That's why marriages are rough in the first 5 years, because you think you got it figured out. Until something comes and it attacks that marriage and you don't know how to handle it because you suck at communication. It doesn't get exposed until that moment. So now you're trying to figure out how to grow up and you're trying to figure out how to handle this together. But you got both egos because neither one of y'all know what y'all doing. Marriage can't be taught.
No, it can't.
You can take key points from this relationship. You can take a conversation from grandma, great grandma, aunt, uncle. It doesn't matter. Every marriage is different. Marriage is not something you can teach. That's something you have to learn as you go. And a lot of people are out of their learning stage. We don't went to school. We done got our degrees. We in our careers. We operate and doing what we want to do. We don't want to learn nothing else. Not for real.
So I got to ask again, because in more cases than none, the older people got it right. How is it that they got it right?
Did they though?
Because they had, then also too, they had standards too. So how is it that they got it right? More times than none,
Know that they got it right
our
though.
grandparents, did your grandparents stick together?
Whose?
Yours.
Absolutely not.
My grandparents stuck together. Bro, did yours stick together?
Absolutely. They did stick together.
Jermaine, did yours stick together?
Yep.
See, more cases than none, the grandparents pretty much stuck together. So I'm sure hood traumas, they went through different things.
Like,
how is it? And plus, on top of that, 10 kids or better. How is it that they were able to do it? Are we making excuses, or we just don't want to be in a relationship? Because
I think now it's easier because back then, if we look at it, a lot of people's history is raggedy. Mm-hmm. Okay, in Black America, in the culture, there is a lot of incest. There's a lot of children being born out of wedlock. There's a lot of children being born outside of the household. There's a lot of rape. There's a lot of, a lot of in Black America, in the culture, from our grandparents, our great-grandparents, and all of that. And a lot of times it is so damaging and they're so familiar. That's the thing. We tend to be familiar with habits. We tend to be familiar with what's comfortable. And back then, that's all they knew. They learned that trait from somebody else, to stick with that person no matter what. And then here we are in our generation paying the price from a generation years and years ago, because we're so embedded in our mind that we need to stick with our spouses through it all. Some people can't handle through it all.
See,
wait a minute, hold on,
real quick. Because see, are we removing the accountability again? Because y'all women hold the keys to sex and children. So are you taking accountability for the fact that women are finding it more important to become mothers before they become wives?
Yeah, I'm firm on, listen, I don't want my kids to be with nobody but my husband. I don't want all that foolishness. I don't got time. I am almost 30 years old. with no babies.
The part that I'm lost on is, wait a minute. You saying they stuck through this, they stuck through that. But the thing that's I'm missing here, but I thought marriage was till death do you part, through sickness and in health, for rich or for poor.
Don't say
If it's
no
all
baby.
of that, it doesn't say anything about anything else. So it wouldn't make a damn bit of difference if I became a damn deaf, dumb mute. Your ass ain't supposed to go nowhere.
Hello?
If you don't, it say to death do us part, okay, fine.
Right.
It say sickness and health, fine. That's cool and all. But your ass ain't gonna stay with nobody that's cheated on you 20 times. I don't give a damn.
Well, you should already know that before the marriage.
No,
even
no, no,
come
no,
into play.
no, 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 no.
Huh?
We can't say that because some things don't get developed till after you say I do. You see a whole different person.
Well, I can tell you
Nah.
this,
Well, let me ask you
when
this.
it come down,
If they cheat like
Listen,
that,
people
before,
change all the time.
if they cheating like that, during the marriage, then they was cheating like that before the marriage.
Exactly, but some people might be blind to those facts because they be so caught up in the little love and everything they doing for them. We're not gonna sit here and pretend like it don't be happening.
And it
and
is,
we can't.
but
Hold on,
shouldn't we go into the marriage with the mind frame of, okay, it's till death do us part. Anything can happen in this relationship. Am I mentally and physically prepared for that?
And all we looking
So
at
we
the
gonna
fact
go
is
Is that the
what
conversation
causes
that
this
we
So
should
we
person.
go-
have before going into
So we
marriage?
go
'Cause-
into the marriage expecting like, okay, anything can happen. So if I get cheated on, that's fine.
yeah, you should automatically expect that. Don't the good book say trust no man?
Better yet, you might want to ask yourself why. Why is they cheating?
Yeah, that's a great.
There is no reason for a why if you're married. That's
Yeah,
dumb.
it is. Actually, it is.
Yes,
In real life,
If you
it
have
is.
the mindset that there is first of all, you said it's till death do us part. I'm supposed to stick. If I gotta ask you why the hell you
Infidelity.
cheated,
Wait a minute. Infidelity.
hell no.
Infidelity. Yes. From what's written, infidelity. Yes, that's really the only reason why you could leave. Outside of that,
Oh hell no.
there is no reason.
Hell no. There is never a reason to cheat. Not if you claim
Really?
you love that person and that is your spouse. There is never a reason to cheat.
Okay.
Never.
Sure about
I
that?
don't give a damn if
Yeah,
they
okay,
ain't
let's
giving
do
you
it this
sex
way.
like you want it.
I'm gonna tell you,
Okay, let's do it this way.
That's subjective.
Let's
ahead.
do it this way. Okay, you got a car, right?
Yeah.
You own a car, right? You
Yeah.
go down the street.
Mhm.
You know your car needs gas, right?
Mhm.
You go down the street to get gas.
Mhm.
You know your car needs gas.
Mhm.
It can't move without it.
Mhm.
So you go down the street to get gas.
Mhm.
Gas station closed.
Mhm.
What are you gonna do?
Go to the next one.
Right. Okay. You find out that the car has to have
About a
premium.
damn car.
I'm
He
pretty
just
much
broke
breaking
it
to
down.
you.
It just
Run
broke
it
it
back.
down.
Breaking it down
I'm
to
breaking
you.
shit down. That's
Run
what
it
Hold
back.
Yeah.
Run it back.
That
Run it
I
back.
am.
No, look.
If you
Hell
know that your car needs gas,
Your car need an engine too, don't it? So if I blow
right?
your head
But
off
ain't
the
nothing
tree,
wrong with the engine. We're
The
not
fuck?
talking about the engine. We're talking about the substance that it need to run. When you leave your house and you see that you need gas, you're gonna
You
go
can't
down the street to the store, right? Huh?
you can't convince me with this shit here. There is
You
never
can
a reason.
try, but see, what you failing to realize, if that man cheats or if that woman cheats, it's a reason why.
It is
No,
the
it's
People
an
reason.
just don't.
excuse. It's a
No.
fucking excuse.
That's why.
That's the
an
why.
excuse. No. There
So
is no
no, wait a
reason
minute, hold on,
why
let me
you
get this straight.
cheat.
So
There's no reason. You
Hold on,
did
one
it
at a
because you
time.
wanted to do it.
So
Hold on,
if
one at a
you
time.
decide, that if your man stopped fucking you, if he was to straight stop fucking you, you ain't gonna have a problem with it.
No, I mean I'm gonna be like, why?
If you gonna have a problem with
Oh,
Whoa.
No, because I'm gonna be like, why? I'm gonna try to get understanding first. Now, if I can't get no record,
Right,
if
you
I
gonna try
can't
to get
nothing out of
understanding.
that,
it, right?
Then what
You
we
gonna try
doing?
to get understanding.
what we
But
doing?
if he's not taking care of those needs, what are you gonna end up doing?
Leave his ass. What the hell? If I done tried to get understanding and we can't resolve it, and you just want to go ahead and dip off, what the fuck am I staying for?
That would be the same thing in reverse. It's
Leave.
the same thing.
Just
If
leave.
you're right, you can leave, but remember, you made a covenant with God.
Sure did not to be no damn fool. That's number one.
That ain't no covenant
that's
I ever
not
heard
it.
Don't
of.
be no fool.
That's not
The
in there.
Bible speaks about babies and fools. Listen, we not doing that. I ain't about to be nobody's damn fool. No, sir. No, sir. That's
I
number
ain't
one in the
never heard
Bible.
of that
Before we
covenant.
get to the love and all that stuff about marriage and stuff, it say God watches over babies and fools. And baby, I am not gonna be nobody's fool. I'm a whole ass. I don't give a damn. Put me in the 60-70% that file for a divorce because I'm a whole ass. Show the fuck is. You can say what the hell you want to say. You're not gonna convince me of that why? Hell no. No, sir.
Well,
Hell no.
it's like
You can take
well,
that excuse right there and you can go and go with that one.
you
So if
can
he
call
don't
it
explain it
no,
to you,
but
if he don't explain it to you or try to make you
Listen, if we
understand
can't
the
get no
reason,
understanding, if I ask you why the sex stops and there we can't get no understanding as to why the sex stopped,
so you just leave.
got to go. Because what am I there for?
But it ain't all about sex. So why would you just leave?
Exactly. So what you cheat for? If it ain't all about sex.
We not even talking about it at this point.
What you
The-
stop
the-
sex for if it wasn't all about sex?
Listen,
What
the
you stop
the
for?
point is, I'm not having sex with you right now. You
All
want
right,
to know
why?
why? You want to know why? And I'm like, because I don't want to have sex right now.
All
But
right,
then
cool.
you make the decision to up and leave, and for
No,
what?
not right away. I said I'm going to try to get understanding as to why. Now, if you don't give me the why right then and there, okay, that's fine. We'll revisit this conversation. Because eventually you're going to tell me why. Now, I'm going to automatically ask you, okay, if you're not having sex with me, I know that's a need because I know your sex pattern. Because, see, we pay attention. So I know when you want sex. And if we definitely doing a couple of times a night, a couple of times a week, whatever, and it just stopped, bruh, listen, what's going on? What's the problem? Let's talk about this. Because I need to understand why we just cut off and we've been doing this every other day or every day. At least a little quickie or something. I need to know what happened.
But he
Is
just
it
said,
me? Is it work? Is it something you're thinking about doing that's stressing you out that you're just not talking about? Is this something that, you know, it's weighing heavy on you? You scared? You don't know how to approach the conversation because you feel like it's going to hurt my feelings? What is it?
I'm saying no. If he just,
As your wife, you should be able to talk to me about whatever it may be.
well,
As
because
your
I'm
wife.
just tired. I work all the time. I just don't want to have sex.
Understood.
So that
Now,
would be
if
the understanding for you. There would be no walking out, no leaving, no none of that.
no, if we can talk about it, if you just tell me, you know, it ain't no reason, there is a reason why you stopped having sex.
You know,
Like, ain't nobody going for it, ain't no reason, bro.
you know that's a minority thing, right? That's
I don't
falls into that.
look, exactly. But every woman, like I'm saying, it's case by case basis. Every woman and every man is not the same. Every relationship is not handled the same way.
Because
And again, it cannot be taught. How I think and how I view stuff as far as communication is not how the next woman may view it or see it. The next woman might be like, all right, yeah, you fucking somebody.
okay,
So
Well-
what about the women that's not doing their due diligence and playing their role and having sex with their man on a regular? What does a man do about that?
Talk to her about it. Now, if she don't change, then y'all have that conversation about what needs to change in y'all's relationship. Now, if you've had this conversation
And he goes
and
that
you've
route.
made it clear and nothing's changing, if you choose to stay, then you took on the responsibility of that because you chose to stay in that situation.
So he should leave, in other words.
If he chooses to leave, that's on him. If he chooses to stay, again, it's on him.
where that
If
goes,
you had the conversation and nothing's changing, get an understanding as to why she's not willing to give it up. What's causing her to back away from sex? What is triggering her to not want to have sex? What is it?
So that's what I'm trying to say. See, it don't make sense because you're saying I'm not gonna stick around, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not gonna be nobody's fool. We don't expect you to be nobody's fool because that's real life. But it's a covenant to God, so it's like it's law to death do us part. How do you feel like you can like rewrite that and say, oh, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna get
It's
out?
not doing. I mean, it's really not doing what you want to do.
It is
But
doing what you want to do.
The covenant. I mean, it also we only speak about the covenant part till death do us part because that's all we study. That's all we know for real. But if you want to get deep into, you want to go deep into the Bible, it talks about a whole lot. How a man is supposed to provide, how a man is supposed to do this, how a woman is supposed to yield to her husband. It talks about all of that.
Right.
So if that man lacks, that woman lacks, then guess who's not equally yoked? Or they're just not equal. There is no equal there. It talks about the equality in a relationship first. It talks about communication first. It talks about how they come together as one. Now, when they become unequally yoked, you have a problem. There is an imbalance. It talks about those factors first. You have to go through those factors. Some people aren't strong enough to go through those factors. So the marriage doesn't work. It becomes an unhealthy relationship. It becomes something that you can't learn anything from.
Now,
If you can't learn anything, you'll never grow. And if you can't communicate, you definitely not going to learn nothing, and you definitely not going to solve nothing, and nothing is being healed.
so out of those factors, which one says that you can go if one of those factors ain't met?
What do you mean? Any of them?
So there's a factor in the Bible that the Bible talks about. It says pretty much if this partner doesn't meet this factor, you can leave out of that marriage.
Listen, let me go find it for you. Hold on real quick.
Okay.
Man,
I
we
want to see this.
are gonna be here all year. You try to do that.
I
No,
want to see
who's
this.
gonna be here all year? Don't play with me.
We're gonna be here all year. You try.
We're not gonna be here all year because at the end of the day, it might not say it word for word, but at the end of the day,
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna joke for real, for real. Look, I'm not gonna joke for real,
Okay.
because I say a whole lot for real. But no, for real,
You
for real.
got to one up me on that one. That's why I said I wanted to see that verse.
All jokes aside, for real. It doesn't specifically say anything like that for real. Like all jokes aside, for real. But at the end of the day, you have to be considerate of yourself. Like, let's take the Bible out of it, because honestly, majority don't go by the Bible.
Man, that's true.
Okay,
People
let's
take what
that
they
out.
want you
Since we
from it.
talking statistics, y'all kept throwing that majority word around. Let's use it right here, okay?
Okay.
The
Okay. let's do
majority
it.
don't go by that Bible, okay?
Majority
of
doesn't.
them slept together, lived together, and everything before they got married. They didn't go by that Bible.
You know why they don't go by that Bible? Because really, it's kind of impossible. It has nothing to do with your natural choices and selections.
Well, I mean,
it's impossible.
I do my best to live by it, honestly. But that's my personal preference. Everybody has their own personal when it comes to their spiritual and, you know, their spiritual beliefs. That's why I don't really touch on spiritual beliefs, because everybody has their own, and that goes left all the time. I ain't never seen a healthy spiritual conversation where people had different perspectives.
That in politics.
It's never been good. Never been good. But from my own personal beliefs, I do my best to go by it. Now, some things I am completely honest about. I just be like, I can't do that today, good God, because that don't sit well with me. Like, that's not resting well in my spirit. That don't even sound right. Like, turn my cheek and walk away. That don't sound right. Like, no, that don't even sound right, because naturally I know how I feel.
Yeah, naturally you're gonna be nice to those.
Exactly. Naturally, I know how I feel. And a lot of times we do things based out of emotion in that moment. And a lot of times it goes over wrong and we have regrets because we acted out of emotion in that moment. Because we really didn't stop to be like, look, wait a minute, let me back myself up. Let me just think about this thing for a second. A lot of us don't do that. We act right then and there. And a lot of us women, we really will go overboard quick. We'll go from 0 to 1,000,000 real fast, and it'd be the smallest thing. But because it didn't sit well with us and it didn't sound right when it came out, we took it and we ran with it. Now we got to backtrack and try to figure out what was actually trying to be said. And then we got to apologize because we took it out of context. And some women don't apologize. They think making up with it by sex and dinner and stuff like that is an apology. But men deserve apologies just like women do. There is no excuse why a woman cannot apologize to a man for being wrong. There's no excuse for that, because we expect that apology out of that man. A lot of us don't want to hear, we don't want just monetary gifts. We want that physical apology. And some men don't get that, and they think the apology comes in the form of a gift. But a lot of women need to hear those actual words, I'm sorry, and that change behavior behind that apology. And that goes for women as well. It's the change behavior behind the apology that really matters. You can tell me you're sorry today, And that's fine. I accept your apology. I'm woman enough to accept you, loved you, and whatever else, and we're going forward. But I'm paying attention to the behavior behind that apology. And that goes both ways. Every man, if they looking for, or the woman deserves, the woman that gave them an apology, it's up to the man to pay attention to their behavior after that. And how do you respond when she's not sticking to what she apologized for? Was she really sorry about it? Same thing for women. Was he really sorry about it? Did we learn anything? Because if we got to a point where one of us had to apologize, then both of us have to consider what we learned as a whole, as one.
Yeah.
Because anytime you apologize to anybody, something should be learned in that situation from both parties. And if it's just one-sided, it never makes sense. And that goes to accountability. Everybody has to take accountability and responsibility for their actions. But anytime we come to the conversation of accountability, both parties involved had to have learned something. Had to. Because how did we get here?
Right. And that's why I said in the beginning, I made it known that, you know, we are coming from, because it's not, we're not like trying to out to bash women and just, you know, but just it's coming from a male perspective, because we always pretty much hear how it comes from a woman perspective. And we just wanted to share our takes on it, and basically, you know, from our experiences. I know me myself, dealing in my past relationships, you know, I've taken accountability for a lot of shit that I did, because I know I ain't perfect. But you know, that gets known if I am talking to someone. But you know, it's just in more cases, like I said, when I talk to women, it's always the guy did something. I wouldn't have a problem if the woman was like, well, you know, I did this and I did that, and you know, I did this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you telling it from both sides. And like bro was saying, you know, it's three sides to a story: his, hers, and the truth. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I hear so many women just shitting on the dude. And it's typically the dude that they gave one of the most honorable gifts to, a child, too. That, you know, they just trash him so bad. I'm like, well, what did you do? Because I know this person just ain't doing it all by itself. It takes two to tango.
And then sometimes it's the damn dude that they choose.
That's true.
Yeah.
They choose
That's true.
You choose the wrong kind of dude, and then you thought you could change him. You can't change him.
And that goes into that accountability.
And that also goes into that fact where I say you choose and you stick and stay. That goes both ways. You stick with that mess.
Yeah.
Why? Like, why? What are you gaining from it? What are you gaining from it? That goes both ways.
Well,
like,
one of the things,
choose to stay? Why the man choose to stay?
One of the things that when I had got married, the pastor had asked, when you get into that situation, you have to ask, why did you get married? You know, so you can reflect on what about this person made them so special that you feel like you had to say, I do.
Right.
And some people seem to forget that shit.
Yep.
So when I look at it, you know, I look at those things. But again, like I said, a lot of times people just choose the wrong person. They choose it, and then they get married to them, and then they realize that this person ain't who they said it was. I'm like, damn, did you vet them first? Did you at least vet them to find out who they was? At some point, you still got to accept accountability for the fact is you chose them. I don't give a damn what they said.
Yeah.
You chose them.
And they'll get one or two kids in, like, and then they'll talk like, yo, I knew you knew this. Like, I know they were displaying some form of behavior.
But I've also seen where everything was perfect until kids.
Nothing's ever really perfect until kids.
I mean, nothing is perfect, period, in life. But I have seen in relationships where some marriages were flourishing better and they were healthier prior to kids. And I feel that happens because of the fact that when kids become involved,
puts pressure.
feel like they need to do the same things they did before the kids, or they don't have that balance where they can manage it all, and they don't try to get the balance. Nobody tries to get understanding as to how we balance this thing out to where we still have personal time with just you and I, and then we also have our time with our kids.
Exactly. That balance, that's it. That's the key right there. Having that balance.
Yeah. And
Like
a lot of people don't get the balance. They don't try to get.
When you're married and you have kids, you still have to date each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's a given. You're supposed to still have to, you know what I'm saying, date each other, and you know what I'm saying, spend that quality time that you had before the kids even happened. So a lot of times when marriages go sour after the kids, that's what happens. They stop dating each other.
Mm-hmm.
They stop caring for one another. They all it is about is the kid. The kid is this. The kid is that. The kid is this. Them kids won't dare in the beginning. You have to take care of what's in the beginning for it to keep on flourishing.
Right.
If you don't do that, then of course the marriage is going to go sour. It's going to end. And then you end up blaming it on the kids, and no, it's not the kids' fault. It's your fault because you didn't take the accountability to keep dating each other.
Yep.
You didn't take the accountability to continue to, you know, love each other like y'all was loving each other before y'all had the kids.
Correct.
So
you know, it's still two parts to that. You got accountability and responsibility. So all of that plays a part. And if the relationship is already, you know, kind of unstable, I mean, a relationship can be unstable and it still be working. You bring kids into it, that's a whole nother ball game now, because you just made an unstable situation really unstable, because those kids is going to put pressure on it. It's going to really put pressure on it.
And a lot of times, that's why I say a lot of times people gift people and think the apology comes behind sex. A lot of kids in those relationships were made out of that apology sex. That I'm sorry sex, that we not good for each other, but look, we still sticking to it and we still just getting at it and we still enjoying ourselves. Now we created this little baby who ain't got nothing to do with it. And now everything's still raggedy. We still in here not happy for real. We just doing stuff.
And that's true too, because I've been through a situation like that, and then you know, the case where the woman will leave after you have the child, and you be like, damn, why you leave after the child? Like, you just had a kid. What happened?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it just, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak on the perspective of having a kid and leaving because I am not a parent. Only thing I got is a dog. Okay. But I mean, I wouldn't, I'm not, from where I stand right now, and I can only speak on now because the future, you never know. But my mentality now is, if once a child is involved, I foresee no reason, or I foresee no reason as to why I'm just gonna just leave. I'm gonna need to know, like, what's going on. Like, why am I leaving? Because of the simple fact that my child is now involved, and I know what it's like to be brought up in a home where one of the parents weren't present. So I know what that looks like. I know what that feels like, and I know how damaging that can be. I'm a firm believer, even though I was raised in a single parent home, I'm a firm believer in raising your children in a 2-parent home, in a healthy home, where everything can be discussed, whether it's coming from the child and the parents are open to listening to that child, as well as the parents discussing matters not in the presence of the child when it comes to that home and how things need. I am firm in that because I know what it's like to be that child where you hear everything, because everybody was caught up in their emotions at that moment, that they just couldn't wait until later when they go to bed and they close their door to have that discussion. So I know what that's like, and I don't see that as being something that I would present or lay on the table for my child personally. Now, if I choose to, if down the line something just isn't, we're just not working, like we're just not working, we're bumping heads, we're unhappy, it's just not it. It's not it no more. I'm also firm in not allowing my child to be in that type of environment because I know what that is like. And I'm not saying that my experience as a kid is going to be the same experience my child has, but I don't want to put my child in that environment where they could possibly have that experience. And now, 20 years from now, I'm watching them go through struggles with relationships and trusting people because of how they seen their mother handle things when she was when they were kids. I don't want them to develop that habit and that mentality that it's okay to allow someone to undermine you. It's okay for someone to ignore your presence or your existence. It's okay to not communicate. That's never okay. Whether it's in a relationship, a marriage, a friendship, that is never okay for anybody to do any of those things because, again, we're all human and we all have our own individual mental and we think for ourselves. So unless, there's no way the next person can think for me. So if I allow them to control my mental and my emotional state, I no longer have control of myself. And now I am not healthy. I am not capable of being what I need to be for my child. That is never a good place to be. Because anybody that goes through depression or anxiety or whatever the case may be, you are physically not able to give your child 100% of you because you are not 100% of yourself. And a lot of times they may come to you and you may respond out of emotion and react the wrong way because of where your mentality is at that present moment. So I am firm in believing that you have to do, and that's why I said I feel like you just have to do what is best for you as well as your own personal household. If you come together and you jointly agree that we just cannot be in the same household together anymore, it is unhealthy and neither one of us wants to do this, then fine. That is an agreement within your household. Nobody can tell you that you're wrong for how you choose to handle your household. That's your household. It's not the world's responsibility to make that decision. It's not the world's responsibility to comment on it. That's what's wrong with America today. It's too many people having a comment on how households are being ran individually because too many people know about it. Because there's too much talking outside of the walls instead of inside the walls. There's more talking to friends than it is spouses. And that's how a lot of miscommunication happens. And then you got friends choosing sides. You got friends telling you that person raggedy. You got friends telling you should stay. It's too much when they shouldn't know any of it.
That's
Now,
good
yeah,
points.
it's cool to have somebody to confide in because everybody needs somebody to be able to talk to when they don't feel like they're ready to talk to their spouse about it and they don't know what to say or how to say it and they don't want to react the wrong way. Then
Okay.
that's fine. But when you got a group of 7 and y'all in a group chat talking about it and 4 of them single, 1 of them married, but their marriage toxic too.
That's
The other on the
that's
council
that's
already.
that's more of a woman thing though.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. We talking about women. I ain't saying it want a woman thing, but that's what I'm saying. It's too many people in conversations that shouldn't be had outside of the walls when it comes to marriages. Period.
So do you think women has to take the accountability for that?
Yes, they have to, especially if they're doing it. Do they take accountability for it? Some of them may not. I'm not going to say they do because I know some that don't. But it is something that you have to take accountability for because a lot of times that is a number one reason why men choose to seek something else because you already discussing your stuff with other folks. So now they thinking like, okay, she don't respect me enough to keep it in the household. She let her friends say whatever they want to say about me. She don't stand up for me. She don't defend me. She don't shut that down. That's not healthy. That's disrespectful to the man in your household. That is the ultimate level of disrespect. That is the highest level of disrespect.
That's what we're
Now,
talking about, that
I personally
accountability.
can speak from it because I have been there. I've been there and I had to learn from that avenue in which I went down. So
Right.
I've been there. And you have to take accountability for that. You have to take responsibility for the fact that you allowed your friends to know too much. So now they don't trust that y'all are healthy when y'all are. Now they're going to forever foresee an issue when there is no issue. And oftentimes that creates an issue because they're continuously digging, and they're digging too deep into something they don't have anything to do with.
Right. So they have to take accountability for that.
Absolutely.
Like I said, in that situation, you learned already.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of them that haven't.
Right. And they
don't get it. They don't understand it.
You chose not to learn from your mistakes. That's nobody's fault but your own. That's
But then again, at the same time, like you said earlier, people are at a state now where they don't want to learn anymore.
No.
But see, that's one of the things I've always said about myself. I always humble myself because I don't know everything.
Correct.
I'm always learning. That's the reason why I like to, what I call, women watch. I like to sit there and watch how you react, how you do this, how you do that. I just like to watch how y'all move. Because it's like watching, you know, it's almost like watching the Discovery Channel because you learn something new every day.
It is.
I'm like, wow.
It is.
Damn. For real?
Yeah.
So that's why I do that shit.
I can agree with that. And I tell my friends all the time, and I would say this anywhere. If we are forever growing and we are forever learning, we will forever learn one another. Because if nobody's growing and nobody's learning, then we're stagnant and we're stuck.
Right.
Everything is familiar. So no matter how long you've been with somebody, you're going to forever be learning a part of them because things change. We get older. We take on new opportunities. We take on new business ventures. We have kids. Now you had a single woman for 10 years. Now you got a mother of your children. That's a whole different avenue. Now you're paying attention to how she cares for your child. You're going to forever be learning your significant other. Always. If you're not learning them and paying attention to new things, then are y'all growing as a whole?
Right.
Because who's changing? And I'm not meaning changing to where it's just drastic, but men change jobs. Women change jobs. They create new businesses. They do different stuff. I might have married somebody who, you know, had 2 businesses before me. And I learned him and I paid attention to him as a business owner. Now, we 10 years in, and he done created 10 more. So now I'm watching him run an empire. It was only 2 before. So now I'm learning how to figure out how to manage my household as well as be a wife to my husband because of his plate. I know what his workload is like. I know what this looks like. Okay, how can I make this make sense? So we'll continue to forever date because I know his schedule. I know he got a full plate. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that I'm doing what needs to be done on my end so that I never feel like I am neglected. Because sometimes what we do, and that goes for men and women, we sit around, already know it's a need. So why are we waiting for them to do it?
So it's also about trade-off and compromises?
Absolutely. Because I feel like, and I've had this conversation with my own husband. Don't wait on me to plan a date night when you know it's one needed. We can both plan a date night. It don't require much. It can be the simplest thing. You know, both our work schedules is crazy.
Now, is he supposed to do that, or both parties supposed to be doing that?
Not necessarily. It doesn't require both parties to plan a date night.
Because some people will feel that that's subjective. Some guys.
If you feel like that, then you got some growing to do. Because date nights don't require both parties to be involved. If you text that woman to tell her to be ready by 8 p.m. and she need to wear jeans or she need to wear a dress and some heels, then baby, she gonna be ready by 8 p.m. and whatever you told her to put on. She don't know where she going.
That's true, but some guys feel like that too. I know some guys will be like, man.
Some women can do that. Women, it goes both ways. Men complain, women complain. And sometimes you just have to sit down and figure it out together because everybody's schedule is raggedy. You
But
don't know what their schedule might look like.
yeah, that's
So it's kind of
the
hard. So
trade
I get
company.
that aspect. But when you know the schedule and you got it down to a T, and you know y'all don't lack on a date night because y'all don't let everything else get in the way, somebody gotta do something. Because you should forever date your significant other. That should be, even if you plan it at home in the backyard. There's no reason why a date can't happen. A midday picnic, a midday lunch, like anything. There's no reason why something can't be done, and that can come from both parties. We're too busy sitting around waiting on the other to do it when we know it's lacking. And just because I feel like a date night is needed doesn't mean that he feels like it. He might think everything is fine with me because I'm used to the routine and I'm still happy-go-lucky. I'm still taking care of home. I'm still smiling. I'm still doing all my normal stuff. But I know how I feel. So it's okay. All right. So he might not understand that. Let me go on and plan a date night. And it might be the best time he ever had because he's been needing it. But because he was doing what he needed to do for his household, and everything was fine with the wife that he thought was fine because she was responding normal, everything was fine. But because she planned that date night because she knew what she needed, it might have set him free because he like, yo, I needed to decompress. Work been raggedy. I feel raggedy. My bones hurt. My back hurt. Everything just bothering me. Like, work been stressful. I needed this. But he was willing to sacrifice himself and just keep going and going and going, that he didn't see where she needed it as well. So it goes both ways. I don't feel like dates and stuff like that are oftentimes, or should be oftentimes, created together. Sometimes you have to do it individually because it's a need.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, you know, if one time she does it, the next time he does it. That's what I was saying about the trade.
Yeah, whenever. I don't think there's no set time on date nights. I don't. I feel like once you start putting a set time on stuff like date nights and stuff like that, now it becomes a familiar thing.
Well, I mean, I'm saying it like innately, like it would come down to like, okay, my wife said, let's have a date night. We had a date night. Damn, it's my turn. I feel like I need to do that. You know, she came out and, you know, she pretty much recognized that we needed a night to ourselves. So let me turn around. Let me do that for her too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, in that aspect of it.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, absolutely. I just don't. I mean, people just think too much about it, and they end up missing the opportunity. You miss the window because you put too much thought into it. Yeah. It's needed. Forever date. Always date. Forever. I don't care if it's to the drive-through and everybody picking 12 million things off the menu only to eat one. Whatever.
I want to ask you this. This is a little bit off topic, but I want to know your perspective on this. Do you feel like titles mess up relationships?
What kind of titles?
Like all titles. It's like whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, whether it be husband and wife. Do you feel like titles mess up relationships? And the only reason why I'm asking this is because, and I'm getting a little personal here, but just like with my moms and my stepdad, they were married for the longest. And, you know, they had their problems and situations, you know, until they couldn't take it no more. Unreconcilable differences. And they was like, you know what? Let's go our separate ways. We don't want to be husband and wife anymore. So we're gonna go our separate ways. And now that title is gone, they are like the best of friends. Like they hang out more than they did now than they did when they were married.
Talk to each other every single day.
Every day. And
that's what I mean. Sometimes it just doesn't work and you have to just let it go. Because
it's about titles, power.
It can be titles as well, because sometimes for some people the title becomes too much. It's easy for me to be your friend when I don't have the responsibility of your wife. Mm-hmm. Some people it's easier for because they can be available and be there for you in a different way. and the weight of that doesn't fall on them. So like, for instance, the wife's title, that weight of that, it falls on, just like a husband. You're responsible for that person. 100%. Whatever happened, if something happened, they calling that spouse.
But
nobody else can say anything. Nobody else can do anything. It falls on that spouse. And yes, it's till death do us part in the response. But some people cannot handle that, or they choose not to continue to handle that because some things go unresolved for so long that it becomes a familiar, uncomfortable behavior. And because I know all your dirt and I know all your secrets, I can be your friend. I can't be your wife.
But something like that shouldn't take 20 years. We talking about 20 plus years marriage.
That's not true. Because I stated before, people are forever changing.
Well, with me and my old lady, the way I do it, she always used that term, boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't like that.
I love it. I do it to my husband.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why I don't like it. When I heard the term girlfriend, boyfriend, I think high school. When I say my old lady, that feels more grown. I don't like the term boyfriend, girlfriend. Look, I'm a grown ass man. I ain't no boyfriend.
I get it. See, I do it with my husband too. I be like my boyfriend, my husband, my side piece. He everything. Cause I don't need nothing else.
Well, that's
he can be all that. You everything. You the whole perspective. But see, you're coming from your male perspective, and it's not that she's undermining you as a man. It's not. I promise you. It just feels uncomfortable to you, but to her, it's probably the light of her world. You don't know what that's doing for her. You don't. You don't.
Yeah, I didn't look at
make your wife just want to just climb all on top of you. You don't know. See, when I do it to my husband, listen, I'd be like, look, you my side piece. You my boyfriend. Or whatever the case may be. Listen, I'll be ready to tear his whole life down. I'm in a whole nother demeanor. You just don't know what it's doing for her. That's all it is. It's not that she's undermining you. And sometimes men think too heavily of the words that are used. We're not undermining you as a man. We just love the fact that you are all in all. You are all in one. We don't need no other boyfriend. And sometimes I do that. I post on social media and be like, my boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And people so simple-minded. They so simple-minded. They take it and they run with it. They're like, who her boyfriend? Girl, I got a whole husband, honey. He know who he is.
See, that's what I'm saying. In your situation, it's a little different. If they know who you are, then that's one thing.
It don't matter whether
they don't know you.
It don't matter whether they know or they don't know. Mind your damn business. That's what I mean by too many people trying to figure out what's going on inside somebody else's house. Mind your business. If that woman want to call her husband her boyfriend, let her. Leave her alone. Mind your business. You don't know what it's doing for that woman. That woman probably calling you her boyfriend probably about to just swing from chandeliers, put some lingerie on, and cook you a meal, everything. You her boyfriend, you her husband. It don't matter what nobody else think. She just coming from a place that feels good to her. And we can't neglect everybody's personal opinion, how everybody feels individually. That's what I mean by you have to be in tune with yourself. She might feel good as hell calling you her boyfriend.
But what about if he don't like it? What about if it messes with him?
But what if calling her old is messing with her? And she not saying it because he likes it.
Well, see,
no, I didn't say old lady. I said old lady.
Listen,
that's a slight difference. When
we hear old, we hear old. Like,
no.
Listen, it's fine. But even in that, what if she doesn't like that, but she knows you love it? That verbiage, that terminology, and she compromises with you on it.
Well, for me, words mean shit. That's the thing about me. Words mean things. And when I heard the term boyfriend, I'm thinking teenage shit.
Have you asked her why the boyfriend?
Yes. And I explained to her why. I didn't really like it. I really wasn't comfortable with it because it makes me feel like, you know what I'm saying? When you use the term boyfriend, this, that, and third, you know, Motherfucker gonna be expecting this little young motherfucker to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
No. Then when you see this old lady, you see this nigga with all this grade and shit, then you, oh, that's her boyfriend.
But why they
No.
want the way? What
Huh? Because like I said, I just don't feel comfortable with it.
What did she stop?
Oh yeah, she stopped.
Well,
Every now and then she slips, but I don't make it a big deal and I don't push it. You know what I'm saying? But I know that's just something, you know what I'm saying?
Every relationship is different. She took into accountability how you felt.
Yeah.
She maneuvered away from the word. Now she may slip every now and then because it was
that's the reason why I never push it.
Yeah,
that's why
because it was familiar, and that's what I mean. Every household is different. Every marriage is different. She took how you felt and she applied that. Now, if it probably didn't happen right away because she probably slipped a couple of times, but she took into accountability because y'all had that conversation and you expressed to her openly how you really felt about the word. Now, I mean, and that's what I mean. Communication is key. If you would have never had that conversation with her, she would have continued to use that verbiage and it would have continued to make you uncomfortable. And that is disrespectful to a man. But he has to take into accountability that he didn't express it to her in the manner in which y'all were able to talk and get understanding as to why you are uncomfortable with that. So once that happened and that conversation was had, her being the wife, began to change her behavior towards that word. And now you're at a level where every so often she might slip with the word, but it's not a constant thing because she understands how that makes you feel. And even when she slips, she's probably correcting herself in that moment, like, dang, I let that slip. That's not what I meant to do. Naturally, that's not how I wanted to use that word because I know you're not comfortable with that. So she's going to change her response. But each household is separate. Each household, every woman is not the same. Every man is not the same. Some are more mature than others. Some are physically capable of having those rough conversations. Conversations are those that need to be had. If she's not pleasing you sexually, have that conversation. Ma'am, if your husband ain't pleasing you sexually, have that conversation. It's uncomfortable, it's tight, but it's going to be right.
Damn right.
It's going to be right. It's going to be uncomfortable as hell, but it's going to be right. We're going to come up with a resolution. If you need to do more as far as providing for the household, man or woman, that conversation needs to be had. Period. That's accountability on both parties. Because if it's something that's not right in that household and you choose not to speak on it, you're just as responsible as the next person.
Yep.
You're just as responsible because you allowed it to continue when you could have nipped it in the bud by voicing your opinion. Now we have conversations, and I always tell people you have to know who you're talking to.
You're right about that.
You having a conversation. You need to. I always ask people before I start a conversation. This is my exact thing. When people call me and want to talk about stuff, this is exactly what I say. Now, do you really want me to listen to understand, or do you want me to listen to respond? There is a difference.
Big difference.
Who do I need to be to you today? Before my mouth start running. Because I hear very well. And before you gonna finish your statement, I already got what I'm gonna say. Prepared. It's ready. I'm ready. I don't care whether we in text or full-blown voice conversation. I am ready. I can't see worth nothing. But baby, these ears, I done heard everything. My whole mental done developed the response. So you tell me, do you want me to listen to respond, or do I need to listen to get understanding? Or do I need to do it all? Because sometimes your spouse isn't looking for a response. They're just looking for an open heart and an open mind just to be able to talk to you and release what they're feeling. They're not looking for anything to be said. They're just trying to get that weight off of them because it's weighing heavily on them. And then sometimes y'all do need to have that conversation where both parties are actively listening to get understanding, and then we can respond. Now, that response may not come that very night, and we have to be okay with that. Because sometimes you release something so heavy on people in conversation, they don't know what to say.
Well, shit, we need to know when, because ain't nobody holding no damn cue cards up. Because sometimes, hell, you can give a response and what you say that for? Or you don't give a response and, or you just don't care.
And that's what
the hell do I do?
Mature conversations are hard. Like, they're hard. Like, mature, uneasy conversations are hard. You have to know who you're in tune with. And even me, even till this day, I will eat. Sometimes I still lash out. And I'll be like, man, what the heck? What does that mean? Like, what are you trying to say? You tiptoe. I'm quick to be like, you tiptoeing around some shit. Like, you just tiptoeing. What are you really trying to say? Like, tell me what the hell you trying to say for real. Because all these context clues and me trying to figure this shit out, I'm still lost. Tell me how you really feel. Like, for real. Like, for real. And sometimes I'm uncomfortable in that damn response. I done open up a can of worms. And that's just being real. Like, you telling me too much now. Now I'm like, shut the hell up, because I don't do that for real. But I do after I check myself. But it happens. It really does happen. And that's what I'm saying. There is no way you can teach. You cannot teach marriage. You cannot. We can tell you everything in the world. I'm coming up on my 6-year anniversary. That's it. 6. That's it. The 5-year mark, baby, let me tell you something. That 5 ain't no lie.
I tell you that.
That first 5 is hell. You hear me? The first year, okay, honeymoon. Second year, baby, we paying taxes. We got property. I'm over it. Okay, I want to go back to myself because I don't want none of this responsibility. That's how it click. That's just how it click. You just be like, I don't want all this unnecessary. Then you ain't got no kids on top of that, so you add in all types of taxes. I'm over it, right? So yeah, the first 5, that hot hell 5, it's real. It's real. And I'll go even as far as saying, if you can make it through the first 10 years, you've made it. A little bit.
Yeah, because you can pretty much handle any situation that comes at you.
And that's the first 10. The first 5 is cute. It's hell. But if you can go through 10, because for real, if you go through the first 5, you're breezing your way through into 6.
Yeah.
So now you just done figured out just enough to get by. Y'all just nicely on a nice little wave. Y'all just coasting on through. But if you can get to 10, that's a decent mark, because I've seen many marriages not make it to 10. Yeah. They'll make it past 5, and it'll be like 7, 8-ish, and then they'll be like, cut, done.
Yeah, this will be 10 years for me this year.
Yeah, 10 years. If you can do 10, you can definitely do forever. You can definitely do forever, depending on the circumstances. Because again, you don't know. You don't know. Some people just get tired and fed up and be like, look, I'm done. I don't want this no more. And then you stuck sitting there like, what the hell happened? Because you ain't said nothing. I don't know how we got here for real. I mean, I might know, but we ain't had this conversation. I don't know what I could have done different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen cases like that, where the woman will come home and the man will just gone.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't said none of anything. So yeah,
I've seen what? What'd you say? The man be what?
Yeah, I was saying, like, I've seen a situation like that where the woman will come home, you know, she's thinking everything all peachy peaches and cream, man, the guy is gone. Like his stuff, everything just gone.
So that goes back to when you said you ain't seen too many men leave, right?
That's the minority that he was talking.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
no.
that's still the minority.
Listen, no.
That's still the minority. But
Even still.
but still, I'm just saying, like it does happen. Though
Yeah,
there are
just
exceptions.
because he leaves, and that's what I'm saying. But when I was talking about the statistics of the majority, as far as women filing for divorce, we don't know if the man just left. We don't know that.
I mean,
it doesn't give details. We just know that women file for divorce. That's all we know for real.
Yeah, but just from experience, like I mean, just from hanging with people and their situations, I've heard more times than none that the woman left. And I don't know why, but I'm just saying the woman.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I've seen it go both ways. I'm not gonna knock it because I have seen it go both ways, but it's definitely one of those things where you'll never really know why. You'll never really know the why, and that's sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
Because you can't teach marriage, but it would be nice to know, like.
True. Half of the time, they don't know the marriage is messed up.
Huh?
Half of the time, they don't know why the marriage and
That's what I'm saying, because they don't communicate. They don't communicate. It's easier to avoid. It's easy to avoid uncomfortable. You can avoid anything that's gonna make you feel unease. Sure? I ain't gotta go around you if I don't like you. I can leave when I feel like it because it's uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable in this environment.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to leave uncomfortable. It's harder to stay in uncomfortable situations.
That is true.
It's harder to stay when you're uncomfortable. It takes a strong-willed and a strong-minded individual to stay in a situation, in an environment where they are uncomfortable. Because they are constantly looking over their shoulders, trying to figure out what's wrong. But then you got some people that you're going to look at like they're crazy because they like, darn, everybody around them, they don't really fool with for real, but they still here. Why? Because they're not affected by what you're trying to pour on them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not affected by that. So I can stick and I can stay where I am uncomfortable. And I'm good for it. I'll be in a whole environment surrounded by all types of people that don't like me for real. And I'm going to be like, because who's uncomfortable for real? They're uncomfortable by my presence because that's what they choose to talk about. I ain't thought nothing about them. I'm doing what I need to do while I'm here. And I'm going on about my business. Me just walking into that environment done made you uneasy as hell. Why? It's fine. But I mean, it happens. Like, we'll never know why people really choose to walk away. But I'm firm in it's going to take two. And accountability is major. Accountability goes both ways. And it's required.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have to... I definitely...
What was your name?
Whatever you say, okay.
Oh, you can't hear what I said?
No, it was robot.
Yeah.
Y'all
kind of chopped up.
What the heck?
And all of us looking at you like,
can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Like one of them Chinese movies.
Yeah. Like.
But like I said before, until the connection that went bad, I want to thank you, Nisha, for coming on the live, giving your insights on accountability, and I believe we went. We definitely.
We're doing it again, bro.
He froze now.
Man, for
Can't hear you, bro.
Just type it in the comment box. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to bed. It was great. Y'all were awesome. Listen.
Can y'all hear me?
Be great.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, dang. Well, I was trying to say, what I was trying to say was, I appreciate Nisha for coming on the live, uh, giving her take on accountability, and also to you, Jermaine. Appreciate you for coming on the live, man.
No doubt.
Definitely means a lot to me and bruh, uh, that people are tuning in. They're checking us out each and every week. So we definitely are very appreciative for the insights. Anything you wanted to add right there, bruh?
Yeah, man. I just want to say
No,
thank you to
nothing I
Nisha
can
for
think
coming
of.
up. Oh, my bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead, JT.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the conversation. But even though she still dodged that bullet as far as the whole sex thing. Because believe it or not, I mean, from her take is one thing, but I know for a fact that when people cheat for their own reasons, I don't give a damn who it is, male or female, people cheat for their own reasons. It ain't like it's not something that doesn't happen, because it happens. I don't give a, it doesn't matter who, you know, who it is. Women got their reasons for why they do what they do. Men got their reasons. Plain
Absolutely.
and simple.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
you know, a woman, she gonna go out and do what she gonna do because she ain't getting what she need at home. A man gonna do what he do because he ain't getting what he need at home. And the only
And
reason why most of them stay in it, they gonna stay in that relationship for a reason, because some people just don't like dealing with new or starting over.
Yeah.
That's why they stay in it.
yeah,
That comfortability.
Yeah, they
yeah.
comfortable. They don't want to change up. So cause they already know this guy or they know this chick. So they ain't gonna leave that. They might slip out, do this, whatever. And if they can get away with it, hey, it is what it is.
Absolutely.
That's just people being human.
A lot and a
If they can
lot of
get away with it, they'll get away with it.
and a lot of people are scared of change. You gotta put that into account as well. A lot of people are scared of change, and
Yeah,
and
because they already know how this person is.
and I've heard a lot of females say, "I just don't want to start over. That's why I'm sticking with this."
Yep.
I don't
Now
want
don't want to be by themselves.
that one too. I don't want to be. I'm scared to be by myself. Well, they ain't gonna say I'm scared to be by myself, but they gonna say I don't want to be by myself. Because I've heard
And I
that.
already know his bullshit. Ain't no need of me getting with this other motherfucker and it turned out to be some more bullshit. At least I already know what this motherfucker's bullshit is.
Absolutely.
See,
So
the conversation, and I appreciate her because I like the fact that she did it from both sides. But that's what tends to happen when we get to focusing on one party. That we're looking at it from a man's perspective. We know women are not going to tell themselves. I guess it's just a code. But what I'm saying is these things do happen, and women are capable of doing these things that we're speaking about. And to deflect it, they want to go to both sides. Okay, cool.
Yep.
We're saying that women do this, men do this, but we're saying women do this. Right? And the question is, are you taking accountability for the things that you're doing on your end? We know it happens. We know men gonna do what they do and women gonna do what they do. But more times than none, it's all because this person did something and now this person wants to retaliate.
yep.
Right.
Oh, okay. You did that? Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
Oh yeah.
And
Just to give out some free pussy cards.
Exactly.
yeah, and it's just like, the women, we like just own up to your shit. Like, you did this because of what? Because women are emotional, men are logical. We tend to find a quick fix to things, whereas women want to drag it out and keep going. And then because we don't do what you say or when you get ready and this and that, now all of a sudden you have your reasons for doing what you're doing. Okay. All right. So we should have ours then.
That's that accountability that we was talking about.
So that's what we were saying. So, and more times I didn't expect, and like I said, I appreciate it. She gave some very good insights, and I like how she came from both perspectives. I'd love to have her back on again. But I'm just saying, are women taking accountability for the shit that they do? Are you saying, damn, maybe he did this because of something that I didn't do? Not saying you should be a fool and just keep thinking that way all the time, but like you said, communication is key, and you should have talked that over because I mean, it's important. But
Absolutely.
I didn't really expect anything different. I did wanted to have a, well, you men do this, and we go back and say, well, you women did this, or y'all do this, but it didn't go that way. It ended up turning into it happens on both sides, both parties do this and that, and
Nah,
which
she
is
not.
cool too.
Nah, she not like that.
The only way you're gonna get that kind of reaction, you're gonna be talking to a girl. You would have to talk to pretty much younger,
Yeah.
somebody that really hadn't experienced a whole lot. You gonna get that. You would have to talk to somebody in their early 20s in order to get, what I'm saying, to get that kind of reaction, because those are the ones that you're gonna get that from. They're gonna give you that.
Which I could have brought somebody on in that aspect as well. But
yeah, that's who you're gonna get that from. And then trying to get them, because you got to look at it from their logic. Their logic is going to be a little bit different. And as you get younger, but the thing about it is, people that's younger, they tend to do more immature shit because they hadn't matured yet. They don't get it. They don't
Right.
get certain things yet. Or they don't understand why things are the way that they are. See, one part that a lot of things that get missed and get lost in translation is standards. Those older
Right.
people that you talking about, they had standards.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
saying. I was like,
there's a lot of things they didn't allow back in those days. That whole him cheating and this, that, and third, you got to still ask yourself, well, why was he doing it? That went back to why I was saying, why did he do it? Because if he coming home and his old lady ain't giving him none, but he's staying in there for the sake of the family. That's why he's staying in it. But he still got his needs. He got his needs. And if the big mama ain't getting no ass, guess what? He going down the street and hit them.
hello?
That's what he gonna end up doing.
Because
the only reason why he's staying in it for the sake of the family, to stay in his role. Today's generation is it's completely different. They ain't gonna stay together for the family, for the sake of the family. They they will, a guy, he'll go down the street and hit old lady down, this old chick down the street that been wanting to holler at him. You know what I'm saying? Or either she ain't got a man, but she wants some meat. So he just gonna go on down the street, hit her hog. And then he coming on back home. So that's just what he gonna do. He ain't trying to get no relationship with her, but cause she already understand. See, that whole side chick thing, that ain't nothing new. That's not new. Back in the day, they called it the cleanup woman, or either Jody. That's what that was called.
Who made that song? Who made that song?
Cleanup woman. That was made by Betty Wright.
Yeah.
So she was already dropping damn diamonds on motherfuckers, and they talk about they love them song, but they never really listened to them. Mm-hmm. They really wasn't listening. Just like she was sitting up there telling the women then. A lot of you will sit up there and break it off with a dude. Now, how many times have you seen a relationship where the girl and guy break up, but she end up going back to him? They break it off, but he still slide through every now and then.
Okay, all right. We got a question for you, Jermaine. She says, "I believe there is a reason why, but I don't think it's always because something is missing at home." What's your response to that?
What do you mean? It's always a reason, but it's not. How do you?
I think it's more of a statement.
Dudes don't. A lot of men.
Well, yeah,
cheat.
more of a statement.
Well, people don't always cheat because they want to cheat. That's always the myth. People choose to cheat because they want to cheat. No. In most cases, it's a reason. People just don't step out on somebody just to be stepping out. I don't give a damn what they say, because in most cases, when a woman does it, she ain't going to do it just to be doing it. There has to be an emotional connection there before she does it. It's going to be some kind of emotion. She had to get to know the dude. She'll have to get to know him first. Whereas with the guy, with us, we ain't got to get to know you. We'll go in, hit it, and we out.
Yeah,
that's it.
Because we don't have any emotional attachments.
We don't have no emotional attachment. But for women, you're gonna have some kind of emotional connection. You've been already talking to this guy. You've been, holding a conversation and getting to know him. You just ain't gonna drop your drawers for anybody. Women just don't work like that. They don't function like that. They gonna get to know him first.
Okay, we got
And then,
another question for you, Jermaine. We got another question for you. She's like, now, for instance, what if she is dealing with trauma and it rose from the past you just pulled out of sex?
Say what?
It's the question. The question right there. It says, now, for instance, what if she is dealing with trauma and it rose from the past and she just pulled out of sex?
She just pulled out of sex. Okay, then sounds like to me she must have been molested or something like that. In that case,
okay,
because those are the only ones that do shit like that. From my own experience, most of them that's what happens. They can't find satisfaction, and even if they with the guy that they with, they still ain't gonna find satisfaction. So they just doing it out of spite. So then you got some other problems that need to be figured out. See, what I'm speaking from is from a normal female thing. She gonna motherfucking get to know the guy. No female just go out there and just lay up with some damn body. And if you sit back and you think about prostitutes and people like that, most of the time, if you do the research and look behind that and look and dig and peel back those layers and look into their past, they done had some damn traumatic experiences why they even do that.
Okay.
Got another question.
Got another question for you. Now, do you cheat because you don't understand and she isn't strong enough to talk about it yet?
Do you cheat for what?
She says, do you cheat because you don't understand, you know what I'm saying, the fact that she's been through that trauma in her life and she isn't strong enough to talk about it yet? So basically, you don't even know that she has that type of trauma in her life because she hasn't even mentioned it at all to you. So,
well, then at that point, she don't need to be in a relationship because relationships are based off of loyalty. She shouldn't even be in a relationship if she knows that, she already know what's going on with her. Then she shouldn't be getting into no serious relationship because the relationship itself is now at stake. And not only is it at stake, you're also gambling with the fact that you can end up pregnant by somebody else. You're gambling with your own shit.
It seems like it's a whole lot of trauma victims.
I understand that. I understand that if you got people that's been traumatized or whatever, but you're bringing somebody else in and they are relying on your loyalty. Because as far as they're concerned, you loyal. Okay, if something wrong with you, you already knew something was going on. At some point, you had to know. So you gotta take accountability for the fact that you did bring. That's like, you bring me into a relationship. I'm thinking you loyal, but you out here doing this extra shit. You already know right from wrong. Everybody knows right from wrong. It's still no excuse, trauma or not. Everybody knows right from wrong. So if you got something going on with you, you need to just go ahead and, put that shit on Front Street, or either just go on and not be in no relationship until you get that fixed.
And
because if not, a
majority of people have been molested.
Oh yeah.
But there's a whole, like, talking to people is like, yo, a whole lot of people have been molested. But so it's like, what do you do? So it's like, even from that point, it's like, damn, if that's the case, if all these situations are, happening with people that are mainly everybody that's traumatized, what the fuck do you do? What can you do?
Well, here go the kicker. Okay, so because I've been traumatized, is that an excuse for me to fuck off on you?
No,
would it be okay?
It's not.
Now that since I've been through this, would it be okay if I get in a relationship with a female and I use that as a means to fuck off on her?
Nisha said, and it usually doesn't happen until after marriages or children.
Well, yeah. So it said that because it's being tested. Because right now you're single, you're free. It's a whole lot of things come into play. But also at the same damn time, you haven't matured yet. You haven't fully matured yet. A lot of people just hadn't fully matured or understand maturity. Because see, I'm gonna tell you a trait that a lot of people don't realize. When you blame other people for shit, that's immaturity. When you're mature, you take responsibility and accountability for all your actions and decisions. That's what mature people do. Immature people blame other motherfuckers for shit. And you got a lot of people that call themselves grown that really ain't, and they haven't figured that part out. Being mature is being able to accept accountability and responsibility for your decisions and all the moves that you make.
Yep.
It's a lot easier to blame somebody else or blame it on this. Well, this is why I did this. This is why I did that. Okay, but it still doesn't change the consequences of your actions.
Yeah, because it's just like people say, well, you know, you got to keep them happy and this and that. When in all actuality, it's your responsibility to keep yourself happy.
Your happiness is on you. So if you feel like you need to get out of a relationship to be happy, then you should have never got in one in the first place. If you wasn't happy already. Because people, it's not my responsibility to keep you happy. It's your responsibility to be happy yourself. And we will share in each other's happiness.
Right.
That's how that works.
Right.
Hello?
It ain't my job to make you happy. You're supposed to be already happy. Being happy is some temporary shit. What I'm gonna do is do my part. Yes, I mean I can't make you happy, but we're gonna share in each other's happiness. That's just what we're gonna do. If you ain't happy within yourself, then it don't make a damn difference what the fuck I do. You still ain't gonna be happy.
Exactly.
So that's on you to find your happiness. What makes you happy?
Mm-hmm.
If going out here and fucking off on a whole lot of people makes you happy, hey, okay, cool. Just stay the fuck away from me.
What's the outcome of
That
that?
got nothing to do with me.
What you say, bro? What you say about outcomes and outcomes.
I mean, everybody has a ticket to the ball, but everybody not gonna get the same goddamn outcome. It's just that simple. That's all equality is. Equality is just a ticket.
Or the same experience.
Right. Equality is just everybody is given the same opportunity, but we all not gonna get the same outcome. That's just how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
We not gonna all get the same outcome. That's just life. You just got to be man or woman enough to accept the fact that it ain't gonna come. Everything ain't gonna happen to you. What happened for you may not happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be mad at that. Well, I did get an equal shot at it, and I didn't take advantage of it. Oh well, I just missed out. That's what you call being grown and accepting it.
Yep.
That's just life. Just like I said, it's just like our dad at the plant. Everybody can come out there to Goodyear, but everybody not gonna make it.
Hello?
Everybody not gonna make it. And I've seen plenty of people coming there that's younger than me coming that motherfucker. And like I said, me, 14 years going on 15. I've been out there and I've seen people come in the door, women and men alike, and they all do not make it.
They don't have the same mindset as you.
No, it's not just mindset. They don't have the drive. Or they'll come in there and they'll have this attitude of they get comfortable. Just like it happens in relationships. They'll get comfortable and think they ain't got to do no more. No, that's not how it works. You come in there, it's just like in a damn relationship. You come into the relationship, starting out, you can put your best foot forward. At some damn point, you got to keep up what you're doing. If not, guess what? You can get a pink slip.
Mm-hmm.
Best believe I'm gonna put a pink slip in there. Like, look, you know what? You ain't handling your shit. Well, why is it gotta always be about this? Because that's what you brought to the relationship. And if you don't want to meet the demands, and if you can't meet the demand, then move your ass out the damn way so somebody else can.
Hello?
Yep.
Because the options are in my favor. It's in my favor, not yours.
Absolutely.
I said, I'm not saying that to be mean. That's just being realistic and being truthful.
Yep.
That's just how that goes. Either you can accept it, don't accept it. Either way it goes, it don't really make me no difference. Because at the end of the day, I know who's going to come out on top.
Big dog.
I done been around a long time to see a whole lot of shit, and I can tell you, a whole lot of stuff done changed. Hell, when I was up there when I was in Myrtle Beach, I can't even count how many black women I seen. It was just all females. Won't no dudes with them. Went to the hookah spot. It was like girls' night out. And there's nothing wrong with that. But me and my old lady, we sitting back, we chilling. I'm saying that, you know, the white couples and the Arabs, everybody coupled up. But as far as the black women, they was just all women.
I have something to say on that, but we can't do that on live.
Nah, man, say it on live, brother. Say it on live.
Nah, bro,
this is raw and uncut. You say it on live.
All right, fuck it. All right, bet. let's have a conversation, ain't it?
Let's have a conversation.
Right.
Well, let's have a conversation about it. I feel a lot of black women nowadays.
They're gonna cut you.
They don't want no meat no more. I'm just going by what I see. They don't want no meat. They don't
want no what, bro?
No.
They don't want no what?
Bro, this going on YouTube. I can't say too much.
Yeah.
They don't want no meat no more, man. Like,
they don't.
I see a lot of, and I've seen a couple of females. No, not a couple. A lot of females on social media, like, blatantly say it. I want to feel how bumping coochies feel like. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it.
That's why I made the statement. I said, nowadays you see females now either with beta male, like really, I don't want to say
feminine.
Yeah, just feminine dudes.
They
with each other.
Yeah, they'd rather be with feminine dudes, or they'd rather be with females, other females.
And when you go into restaurants,
a lot of that is conditioning.
But hold on. When you go into restaurants, when you look at white people, especially white men and women, you see white men with women. And when you go into a restaurant and you see black men and women, you got the men over here, and then you got all the women over here. And it's just women sitting with women.
Yeah. A lot of that ain't nothing but conditioning. And that's what I see. It's conditioning. Because like I said, nobody is born wanting to be by themselves.
Right.
I don't believe in everybody, even though there's a higher ratio of women versus men, I don't believe nobody come into this world wanting to be by themselves. There is somebody for everybody. I don't give a damn fat, tall, skinny, short. It doesn't matter. There's somebody for everybody. The problem is, you know, I'm looking at the fact is people is being conditioned to be by themselves. Like some of these women will sit there and say, well, I choose to be by myself. No, you don't.
That's bullshit.
The only reason why you choose to be by yourself because you still hurt from where somebody hurt you.
Hello?
You still hurt from where somebody hurt you.
You hit the nail on the coffin.
Hold on, wait a minute. Or the person that you want doesn't want you.
Right. And that's all it is. A lot of them is just being conditioned that way, or either they're afraid. They are living their life afraid to go back out there and try it again. They'll give up. They give up too soon because they ain't get the results that they wanted the first time. They just say, hell with it. Pretty much just like the gym. Think about it. Why do people not work out?
Hey Google.
They don't like pain. Remember, people run from pain, but run towards pleasure. So therefore, it's the same thing in relationship. People run from pain, but run towards pleasure.
That's a fact.
So therefore, that's all they doing. So to avoid that pain, they'll just avoid the relationship altogether and just say, well, I ain't trying to get into no relationship because they're scared of getting hurt, in which I can understand that. But at the same time, how are you ever going to find somebody that truly makes you happy if you're running from it?
Nisha said, I like food.
I mean, literally, how are you going to find somebody that's going to truly make you happy if you're running from it?
Yeah.
You got to I mean, in order to get the body that you want, you got to put in the work. You got to be willing to work out. So in order to get the relationship you want, you got to be willing to put in the work.
That strength, that gain.
That's just simple as that. I mean, I understand everybody gets hurt.
Yep.
And I can be the first one to sit there and say, I can sit there and talk as much junk as I want to about women, period, because of how I was done. But I have, like I said earlier, I have to take accountability for the fact that I chose the damn type of women that I end up dealing with. But the thing about it is, after each relationship, every woman's favorite line is, you just chose the wrong woman. You just hate the wrong woman. Yeah, I'm hearing that, but I'm still getting the same kind of results, and I'm picking them from different spots, different areas. Then so I'm having to go back and re-examine myself. Maybe it's something I'm doing. But I still, like I said, I still take accountability for the parts that I play in, because maybe I'm just doing too much. And then some of them sit there, some of them been hurt so damn much to the damn point that if they do get a good dude that's doing the right stuff, they thinking that it's a hidden agenda.
Yeah, something's up.
It's a hidden agenda. He up to something. It's too good. It must be too good to be true. Ain't no such thing as no good dude like that. Hell no. What, you don't think you deserve one? You got some personal issues then.
Hey, I've heard too many times. I heard many times where I'm too good of a dude. I've heard that so many times.
So,
and they
how
like
can you be too good of a dude?
They don't.
That's
like
the thing I'm looking at. How is that possible?
I don't know, bro.
How the hell is that possible?
I don't know, bro.
It's like saying, you too good of a woman. I don't want you. So what, you want a shitty dude?
Yes.
Is that what you want? You want a dude that's gonna treat you like shit? I thought that's what you don't want. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Is what I'm saying.
Makes no sense.
Make it make sense.
That's why I asked that question, man. Do they like alphas but hate their boundaries? Because they want that.
You can't like an alpha, because an alpha is about his damn self. He don't give a, he really don't care about you. He'll ask you like, you all right?
Because see, they like that hard
image.
All right. They like that hard aggressive leader image. They like that, but they don't like the boundaries that alpha has.
They don't understand what comes with it.
They don't understand it comes with it.
They don't understand what comes with it.
Shit confuses me,
You
man.
don't want that dude. They don't want that dude.
No. You know.
Because that dude is the one that's going to hurt him. Because especially when they find out he done hit another chick. Because he really don't give a damn about our feelings. Like I said, the beta male is pretty much the dude you really want. See, that's what most women fail to realize. The guy they may have started out with, they may lose their virginity to the alpha. But the guy they end up marrying is a beta.
Hello?
They don't even get it, because beta males are more in tune with their emotions. Meaning, he gonna look at her emotions and her feelings and take that into account. Whereas alpha, he's used to standing alone. He don't mind. He like to be the center of attention. He likes to be the center of attention. That's why they like guys like the Baby and Black Youngster, guys like them. Those dudes, I don't think you want that. You don't want those dudes. Because those dudes, see, those guys, alphas are straight up leaders right out the gate.
They don't give
a
damn about you, for real.
Right. That's the reason why, if you notice, you will always find the males, the superstars, they like fucking groupies. Whereas you notice about the women, they don't fuck groupies. And nobody ever sit there and pays attention to stuff like that. The guys, the superstars, and the people that's making all that kind of that's out there like that, they got groupies, and they gonna nail them. You don't see the women. You don't hear Britney Spears and all those kinds of stars. The women, what's her name, Ariana Grande, and people like that. Yeah. Them high statuses like that. Megan Good and Kelly Rowland. You ain't gonna hear nothing about them fucking no groupies or having sex with no groupie.
So look, what y'all
think about it. They can have pretty much a whole lot, all kinds of guys or any guy, but you'll never hear about them laying up with no random. But those guys, oh yeah, they nailing them left and right. But they never make that connection. I mean, look at Megan Thee Stallion. She ain't fooled with no regular dude. She ain't gonna lay up with no regular dude. If she did, you'll never hear about it.
Them non-regular dudes shoot you in the foot.
Right. It's going to be somebody with some status. You're going to have to be on the status in order to get with her. And us guys, us regular guys, we already understand that. We'll never get her.
All right. Hold on.
And we cool with that.
Hold on, JT. So they want us to run a poll. Alpha male versus beta male. And then have another poll that says man in tune with their emotions or one for himself. And Cynthia was like, well, the results will be alpha male and then a man in tune with their emotions. She does have a point because a lot of men don't know the difference in between. So basically they would be telling on themselves and they would basically be saying that they're a beta male.
And see, people need to understand there's nothing wrong with being a beta male.
It's
just a personality trait.
Yeah,
that's all it is. And see, we only talking about 2. How many is it, Darren? 5?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you got your
5.
What you got? You got the alpha male, the beta male. What is it? The sigma male.
Sigma. You got the sigma.
What's the other 2? I can't think of the other ones.
You forgot sigma.
Yeah, sigma. I said sigma. Sigma, alpha, beta. And it was 2 more. I can't think of.
But yeah, a lot of them fail to realize, and a lot of women don't understand that these guys come in different, we come with different personalities. And most women, they want alphas. But the thing about it is, so does every other woman. That's the reason why so many guys they end up hitting so many different women.
So, Nisha, explain
That's
that.
how come they capable, huh?
Hold on a second, bro. I want Nisha to explain that. Because she said the fact that men and women aren't in tune with themselves. What do you mean when you say that?
What, she's saying that?
She said Zeta.
Zeta, man.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, that is one. That's a 4. Any one more? I thought it was one more. Is it another one, Nisha? Bruh, what you doing, man? You eating cereal and baking cakes? Eating Chinese food?
Everybody trying to get his grub on.
Golly.
Boy, shut your...
Hungry ass.
But but it's like I said, it's nothing wrong with being a beta male. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. At least you know who you are and where you stand. Everybody can't be an alpha. That's just like everybody trying to be a leader. Everybody can't be the leader. Somebody got to follow.
Yep.
It's just like everybody can't be a warrior. You got some people that are straight. You got your hunters. You got your warriors. I mean, everybody can't be a fucking warrior. Everybody ain't built to fight. You got some people. What's that shit Michael Jackson say? I'm a lover, not a fighter. Everybody not fighters.
Yeah, so that goes back to what she's saying about how men and women aren't in tune with themselves. They don't know themselves.
And some of them just don't understand that. And like I said, being a beta male doesn't make you soft. It doesn't make you soft. It means you just in tune with your emotions and you understand you got them. You just got to know how to reel them shits in. And you can tell a beta male, you can really tell a beta male, because if he react off emotions, oh yeah, you know that. Because he feel like he got something to prove. An alpha, he don't have to prove nothing. He ain't trying to prove nothing. You can't move him. That's just the way he moves.
If you truly cannot identify who you are, then how do you really know what you want from someone else? What you think on that, bro?
If you don't know who you truly are, then how can you?
People get in relationships all the time and don't know who their true self is.
Yeah, and that's a fact. See, you got some guys in there that come out, they beta males trying to claim that they're alphas and they really not.
And time will tell.
And time will tell. Especially how they react.
They will fold.
Yes. Straight up.
She said it's an identity crisis.
No, it's just like I said, that's how just some people is, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Some people
Some guys, I mean, they try so hard. They try hard to prove I ain't no beta man. I ain't soft. I ain't no bitch ass nigga. I'm like, no, that's not it. It's not a bad thing to be beta. It's just a personality, that's all. If that's who you is, then claim who you are. But trying to be something that you're not, that's really how half these guys out here is getting killed out here in the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
They betas trying to act like they're alphas when they are not.
And that come from influence. That has a lot to do with influence.
Yeah. Because they can't be who they are.
They're emulating people who are themselves and they want to be that. So they emulate that and it don't work out too well for them.
No. And you can tell, like I said, they react off emotion. That is not an alpha.
Oh yeah?
Alpha don't react that way.
Oh yeah? She trying to call me out?
She said you soft like a kitten head.
Yeah, okay.
You soft like a kitten head, bro.
Oh yeah, Cynthia trying to go in too.
Cynthia said that goes both ways.
Wait, what goes both ways?
Yeah, what goes both ways, Cynthia?
What goes both ways, Cynthia?
You need to elaborate on that. Because that sounds like...
what? Nah, yeah. Is her name Cynthia too? Or is that Cynthia Horror? What is that?
Her name is Cynthia.
Okay. Yeah, elaborate on Cynthia. What goes both ways? She said knowing who you are. Shit.
You're right.
It's true. It's true.
But you got to think about it.
But
that's
listen,
most of
but listen,
today's generation. They don't have an identity. They
Well,
have a straight up identity crisis going on.
well, see, here's the thing. See, these modern day women are pretty much emulating these women that you see on damn Love and Hip Hop and all these little
Right.
shows, and see us guys, it's the fucking it's the gangster movies and the rap and all that good shit.
Instead of see, and the thing is, I was brought up in a generation where we came up with our own styles. We set our own. We did our own thing. Today's generation, it's like they are more. Most of these is more followers than trendsetters.
Hello.
They follow everybody else. They don't make them. It's like they scared to stand out because they scared to. They'll sit there and say they don't care what other people think, but in actuality, they do care what other people think.
They really
That's the
do.
reason why they fall in line and do what everybody else do, instead of doing their own thing. They got to do what everybody else do,
Following the
and
trends.
they'll come up with these false narratives. Well, I just like doing my hair because that's my hair. Well, what makes you different from everybody else? If everybody's doing, the fake lashes, the fake nails, and and the fake ass and all that,
They
then
gonna cut you. They gonna cut you.
That's okay. Don't bother me, because my question is going to be: if you sit back and think about it, all of them are starting to look alike. Everybody's looking alike.
The same. Yeah.
What sets you different from everybody else? What sets you different from everybody else? Are you that female?
A thing.
And it's not if you want to fall in line, do what everybody else do, then cool, fine. But there's nothing special about you. I can drop you tomorrow and go find another girl just like you. There.
Hello.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing different about you.
I mean, all you look alike, so I might as well just pick the next one and see what she about.
Right.
What's different?
I'm saying, what makes you? I mean, yeah, you may have a better body than this girl, but explain to me, what are you doing that's gonna make me want to keep you? What are you doing that's gonna make me want to keep you? Because if you're not doing anything different than that girl, then hell, if it don't work out with you, I got no reason to really want to try to keep you or make it work. There's nothing to make me want to make it work. I'd rather just dump your ass and go pick up another damn girl, because she gonna be pretty much just like that girl. It's got to be something that sets you different from her. It's just like when they go out and pick a dude. If they get a guy that treats them like gold, takes them on vacations, do things and this, that, and third, how hard are they gonna work to try to keep that dude? They're gonna work real hard to keep him, because he's different from all the rest of the guys.
Hello.
He's different. So therefore, she gonna work hard to keep this dude. She gonna try to do every damn thing right. It's just like if you go out here and you look at a Mustang. You got about 5,000. You got 5,000 Mustangs out here. But out of all 5,000 of the Mustangs, you want the top of the line. You either looking at the Cobra or you looking at the Boss. You going for that one that ain't nobody got. You want that one that's special. Well, people work the same way. We ain't no different. You want something that ain't nobody else got.
Hello.
So you can sit there and say, that's mine right there.
Hello.
Ain't nobody got that.
Hello.
That's my shit right there.
Hello.
That's how dudes feel about their women. Women got this misconception that guys are out here just hitting all these different chicks, when really, no. That shit, that costs money.
A lot of money.
Ain't nobody trying to spend money like that. Because I'm not trying to spend money going out here, take this girl on a date. I got to take this girl on a date. I ain't got time to be sitting up there keep spending money. Because when I deal with a female, I'm taking her out to dinner. I'm showing her a nice time. I'm treating her the way she needs to be treated. Yeah, I'm gonna open the door for her. I'm gonna motherfucking pull out the chair. I'm gonna do all of that good stuff. But don't take me as being weak though,
Absolutely.
because I will leave you sitting at the damn table with the bill in your hand. When you start tripping and acting funny, I'm be like, look, I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom.
Deal. I'm
Yes,
gone.
I will leave your ass there paying the bill.
I'm gone.
You got that.
I holler at you. I'm dead ass serious, because like I said, all I'm trying to do, I want that one that's special. I want that one I want, when I go for steak, I want prime rib. I want the best part of the steak.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I want the best part of it. So therefore, when I go for that female, yes, I want that female. Yeah, I want her to look a certain way.
Hello.
And thing is, I'm an average guy. I'm not high value. So I'm cool with it. You know, if you got weed, cool. You got nails, cool. If your ass weigh 170 pounds, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
No,
because like I said,
Wait a minute.
If she 5'4" weighing that much, she the size of a fullback.
hold on.
And I
Wait
can't
a
be
minute.
with
If her ass is built, if her shoulders is where they're supposed to be, her waist is where it's supposed to be, her ass is where it's supposed to be, yeah, I'm cool with that. But when everything starting to look like a damn spear, we got a problem.
Well,
I can't do it.
I was gonna say,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Kirby.
As long as everything is where it's supposed to be, I'm cool.
You talking about Kirby?
But when
right?
everything ain't in its right spot and shit starting to run together, no, we got a problem.
Okay,
so you
hold
on, you talking about Kirby, right? Because if you 5'4" weighing 175, 180,
and she's
your
curvy,
ass look like Kirby.
And she's curved, if she got curves, because you got some women who just have, weight in all the right spots. Like I said, you got to be on. Like I said, I'm what you call the average dude.
She got some heavy breasts.
I'm saying, no.
40 pounds each, ain't it?
No. What I'm saying is, she has to be built a certain. Like I said, you got some women who will weigh, more than the average woman. The average, what some people would say is 135 pounds. Come on now. Let's keep it 100. Most of them females you will probably see on TikTok, them that's built like that, they weigh them like 150, 160. I mean, let's keep it 100. They weigh 150, 160, especially the one with ass, hips,
Yeah.
They weigh that.
Yeah, they do.
The average guy, that's what he wants. The average dude. But a high value dude making big money, he don't want that.
Hey, he want the 3 F's, bro. He want the 3 F's.
Right.
He want
the
fit, fun,
and cooperative.
No, the fit, the feminine, and friendly.
Friendly. Oh yeah.
But even then still, see, that's the thing. Even the average guy wants that.
That's true.
That's one. That's one thing that the high value guy and the average guy have in common. Yeah. They want those same things. But the thing about it is, the average woman don't seem to understand that she won't be chosen because of her weight. She's not gonna be chosen. And then the fact is, she's not willing to compete with them other girls. She's not gonna compete. So you have to lower your standards down to, okay, you got to deal with the average guy. Because the average guy will take you the way you are. He ain't going to tell you to lose no weight. He going to tell you, oh, no, just keep it right there.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be the first one to take, just keep it right there. That's all you got. Just maintain that. You ain't got to lose no weight. But that's the average guy. But see, They don't want the guy. They want other dudes. They want the guy making 6 figures. Not everybody making 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody making 6 figures.
That's a small percentage.
I come close, but no, I ain't making 6 figures. But I damn sure come close. But I'm happy with that. because I ain't struggling and I ain't broke. But the thing about it is, it's like I said, but those type of women, they ain't going for that dude. They not going for the average guy. They not.
Mm-mm.
Because they think they better and not even realize that the average guy is the best thing that could ever happen to you.
Hello?
You can still have the life that you have and enjoy life and everything be fine. You get with that 6-figure dude, you're gonna be sitting there wondering if he ain't screwing off with somebody else. Especially if loyalty is one of those things that you want, you ain't gonna find you liable not to find that in one of them high value. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
What's
give
up?
you a rude awakening. 9 times out of 10, a 6-figure man and plus, he got options. He's gonna have somebody else.
He got 2 options.
He got plenty of options. So,
Yeah, it makes sense because he makes probably 3 to 6 times more than the average person. So that makes him able to have more.
Right.
So
And
that makes sense.
So I had this one girl make the comment talking about, I just want somebody that's damn loyal and this, that, and third, and ain't gonna cheat and this, that. I like, okay, that's an easy fix. How's that easy fix? I said, it's an easy fix. It's right there in your face. Get you an ugly motherfucker. That's all you gotta do. Get you an ugly motherfucker. Don't nobody else want him. So how else? What else can you do except be loyal to you? Because don't nobody else want him.
That's what they say about the big girl. They say, if you want a loyal motherfucker, get your big girl. She
yeah.
gonna cook.
Right.
She gonna do everything she need to do in order to keep you, because it's gonna be hard for her to get out there in the market and get what she really wants.
Right. Because you got to sit back and keep in mind, if you get you an ugly dude, that mom will worship the ground that you walk on. Blow your booty hole, everything. He ain't nothing he won't do. And I'm just keeping it 100. I'm saying, it ain't nothing that he won't do. I mean, because of the fact that nobody wants him. But if that's what I mean, you saying you want that, because the reality is nobody wants somebody that nobody else wants.
And that's true. That is true.
Okay, all right.
You don't want.
Hey, hold on, fellas. She said us fluffy women don't have no problem getting a man. Of course not.
No.
Of course not.
Because y'all got a lot of good qualities. Y'all can cook. Y'all, I can't really say it on here, but y'all got some good qualities, man. Y'all really do.
Absolutely.
Nobody's hating on the fluffy girl.
And it all depends on where do you consider. And the thing is, a lot of that, when you say fluffy, a lot of that depends on the guy that you're looking at and what kind of guy you're going for. Because to sit there and say, you don't have a problem getting a man, okay, do you have a problem getting the man that you want? That's a difference.
Instead of having to settle for anything.
One thing I can honestly sit there and say, every woman would sit there and say, I don't have a problem getting a man. Really?
Well,
so you've never been rejected then. See, men get rejected all the time. Women don't get rejected.
Absolutely.
That's because we know where we stand. We already know we can't go for this chick over here because she ain't gonna even look. She ain't gonna even give us the time of day. We have to accept and get comfortable with rejection. They don't.
Yeah.
So yes, you can be fluffy. That's fine. But have you ever went and tried to holler at a dude that was out of your league?
And land him?
And get him? That's a whole totally different perspective. So no one says that you, because within the guy community, you have guys who have preferences. You have guys who like big women. You have guys who like short women. You got guys that like fit women. You have guys that like mixed. You have all those. But one thing for sure, one damn thing for certain, when it comes to certain criterias, you got guys who like the big, and that's only a small portion. That's only a small portion. But then you got those guys who like real skinny women. That's only a small portion of those guys. But for the most part, when you're looking at fit and kind of on the what I call fat side, when I say fat, I'm talking about pretty hot and tempting. PHAT. Those are the ones that most guys go for. That's across the board. Those are the guys that most guys go for. I mean, those are the girls that most guys go for. So no one says you can be fluffy, whatever. You can still get certain guys, but it's only certain ones you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
But you ain't gonna never step out of your league because you're gonna already be told yourself that you couldn't get him.
Fact.
You may try for him, but you'll get the same thing that we get. Oh, I got a man.
Yeah.
That's what we get. So you'll get to, oh no, I got an old lady. See,
Yeah.
if you ain't never been rejected, you ain't gonna know how to handle that. Oh, his ass probably gay anyway.
Yep. That's one of them saying.
He probably don't like females anyway. I ain't like his ass no way.
Yep.
Is it shame, insults, guilt need to be right?
Like, no, I ain't gay. I'm just saying I got a girl.
The insults.
So they'll make it a point to try to find out whether he really got a girl or not.
It can't be.
Because it's gonna play on that psyche.
Yeah, because
he rejected her.
it can never be. It is what it is. It's the guy just don't find you attractive, and you're not his type. It can't be. It is what it is. It's always, well, I look good. I know I'm fine, and why he don't want me? No, it is what it is. I don't think you look that good. I don't.
If he just don't like you. It ain't that he hating. You just not his preference.
Exactly.
Just like we have to accept the fact is when we approach a female and they turn us down, we have to accept it. We have to accept it. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We have to be comfortable with being rejected.
Yes.
They don't have to be comfortable with being rejected. Because most of the time, they always go after what they know they can get.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get that. We just don't get that.
Yep. Tell you, man, they hold them keys to sex, man.
They hold the keys.
They hold the keys to sex and children. Men hold the keys to what? Relationships and marriage.
Urge.
Yep.
So, but we had a good build tonight, and we did kind of veer off the subject towards the end, but it's all good. We will we'll say this for another time. I appreciate Cynthia coming in and giving us feedback. She pretty much spoke for a good majority of women. We didn't get nobody else on tonight, but it's all good. We'll try to come back next week with something else.
Yeah.
Do we have a topic in mind? We already have a topic in mind.
Yeah, we got.
If not, I got one in mind.
Nah,
I ain't gonna say it.
It's. I got one. The one we had talked about. The one we had posted in the message that you had told to me about for next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one we're going with.
Okay. Well, that'll be what it is. Y'all find out Sunday, next Sunday. Hey,
I need to let me know with that one because I'm a little lost on that one. So
yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna fill you in.
All right, do that.
So
make sure I wear my King of My Way hat this time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because y'all got on y'all, I ain't even got mine though.
Yeah, support the brand, please. Go to King of My Way. Bro, tag everything. Everything's on his page also, but go to King of My Way on Instagram and King of My Way on Facebook. Also, Queen of My Way. We don't forget the queens neither. So, with that said, anybody got any final words? Jermaine, you got any final words?
Oh no, y'all doing good, man. Keep me in. You know, I'm down for a little discussion. I always got some good shit. I'm always thinking anyway, because my mind is always churning. So
yeah,
you know.
Well, look,
it is what
if we can have you back next Sunday, you're more than welcome. I will fill you in on the next topic.
All right.
And
well, you know, I don't get out work like 7.
Yeah,
so.
we won't kick it off probably about the same time, 8:30. So we won't do 7.
Right.
We'll tell people it's 8:30.
Okay.
And then, you know, Eastern Standard Time.
All right, well, that's it.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. All right, bro. You gonna close
All
us out?
Yeah, man. This Let's Have a Conversation, sponsored by King of My Way and Queen of My Way. Definitely make sure y'all tune in, check out, because we do got something coming up very soon. We got some great news today for the brand. So definitely keep tabs on the pages, King of My Way and also Queen of My Way. And I definitely appreciate everybody that was tuning in tonight. JT, you always give us good insight because you've been through a whole lot and everything, and you always do that for us. And then, bro, you already know how we do.
Yeah.
We've been tag teaming this Let's Have a Conversation since the beginning of the year, so
And
definitely
please,
appreciate it for us.
and please, everybody, if you will, man, just share this video for us, like the rest of them. Just share them. Tell people to
Yep,
come check us out, man. We really appreciate it.
yep. It's on YouTube as well, which more than likely, as soon as I get off of here, I'm gonna post it on YouTube. So definitely, I'll be sharing it to every platform: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of it. It'll be posted on. So definitely hit the like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also share the video. Share all the videos that's on there because this is episode 8 of Let's Have a Conversation, and the topic for tonight was accountability. So this is
Share them all.
episode 8, and we're gonna continue to keep growing this. So I definitely appreciate y'all.
All right.
It
Have a
worked.
doubt. I'm out, peoples.
All right now,
All right, yo.
all right now,
All right.
peace.
Peace.
Later.